Are we live?
Oh, no.
Are we live? Is this what's going on? Are we live?
I don't know, but he's about to kill somebody. That's all I know.
Oh yeah. Hi guys, welcome to our first edition of Friendship Friday. I'm very blessed to be joined by three content creators and men who I absolutely respect and adore. To my, is that my left or right? Up top with me here, we got Mr. Sleazeball FF with his My Mind is a Weapon fantasy football podcast and show. Bayou Bengal right under me, and my guy JC Money Design, the co-founder of the Sports Affiliation. I'm very blessed to work with you guys with pumping drafters content. I'm very blessed to be part of your communities. I'm very blessed to have you guys as part of my community. And most importantly, I'm very blessed to bring back a very special segment from last year. This is our first edition, and I wanted to make sure I did it right. So I got three. It's the three best friends. Yeah, it's really awesome. Our first edition of our 2024 Friendship Friday. Super stoked, super honored. So before anything, I want to introduce my guests. I definitely want to introduce my guests. But there's going to be a little bit of a caveat. I want my guests to introduce themselves. I want my guests to also, let the folks know where people can go support them and their content and find them on social media and give us their best piece of fantasy football advice for this season. We will call the queue live at some point, but we definitely want to be able to chat and get a fresh lobby so all of Disco Ball Nation can get in here for sure. So we'll start with Sleazeball. Where can the folks find you, and what's your biggest piece of fantasy football advice this year?
What's crack-a-lack-a-lackin', everybody? Thanks for having me on, Disco. Always amazing to be on the show. My name is Derek. You can find me Sleazeball FF across every single social media platform there is. I just launched my podcast about a week and a half ago. We're 4 episodes in. It is My Mind is a Weapon fantasy show. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, all that as well. And my biggest piece of advice to win your leagues this season is everyone is trying to say go wide receivers early. Please go running backs. That is how you're going to win.
Ooh, you are getting spicy, my friend. Mm-hmm. I feel the debate come like that. I got heated. I got heated when you said that.
I got warm too.
I feel like I'm ready to debate. Shout out to Bayou Bengal and the Bengal Raid. What a great show earlier today. My man's been doing 2 streams a day. He did some stuff with the other guys earlier today, and it was very good, great advice. And his drafts earlier with drafters was absolutely spectacular. So I appreciate the raid. If you guys are coming over from Bengal's channel, make sure you guys introduce yourself with the hashtag Bengal Raid, because I really do appreciate it. I'm not going to do it like a big disco breakdance, whole scene, because when Bengal gets rated, it's sick. It's absolutely insane. I love rating him just for that. But yeah, we'll catch up with the chat in a bit. Bye, Bengal, my friend. Please introduce yourself to the folks who don't know you. Please reintroduce yourself to the folks who do know you, and please let them know where to find you and give your biggest piece of fantasy football advice.
Yeah, so my name is Troy. A lot of people like to hear, I guess the last couple of days, people have been calling me Doc and Dr. Troy and stuff like that, which is fine. It's all good. But you guys can find me over there at the Bayou Bengal Fantasy Network. Mostly everything is on YouTube. And then if you ever want to catch me on what I'm doing, you can always follow me over on X at Bayou Bengal FN. That's pretty much where I'm at any given time. My biggest fantasy advice that I would probably give you is don't be so set in your own ways and the way that you think about things in fantasy football. Be open to listening to other people's perspectives and try to mold your perspective to that, because no one knows everything, but it's good to take little pieces from everywhere. Just for an example, I'm starting to get a little bit of Zamir White, even though I kind of throw up every time that I do it, but I know I respect Disco over there so much. So I'm trying to get a little bit more just in case he is correct, because I don't want to have to hear that all off season when I'm like, hey, I could have drafted that. So that's my advice. Just take other people's advice and mold your own.
I think that's very sound and spectacular advice, and you should definitely get your exposure up to Zamir White, because he's him. He's going to be that guy. I like this comment a lot. Andrew N said, did Disco's Wolfpack just grow? Yeah, man, it grows every day. You're part of my Wolfpack. We're all just, so I want to introduce this next guy. His name is JC Money Design. He is the co-founder of the Sports Affiliation, and he is quickly becoming not only one of my favorite content creators, just because we love the same movies, and he has a beard and whatnot. But it's because he's one of the world's nicest, most down-to-earth, kindest human beings. He's welcomed me into this incredible sports affiliation community, and I can't say enough nice things about JC and the entire community at the TSA. So shout out to JC. JC, please introduce yourself to the folks. Let them know where to find you and give your biggest piece of fantasy football advice. All right.
So I'm JC. I'm all over, man. I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff. I even get into cards and collecting cards and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, TSA, the Sports Affiliation, is just this big community that we've just kind of been building. It's all basically built around positivity, inclusiveness, and I want that camaraderie, but at the same time, I want to have good people. There's a lot of negativity out there in the world right now, and even within the fantasy community. So, we got to block out the hate and have some fun. We just want to, bring the positivity and make sure everyone's included. Can't have the negativity, not at one whatsoever. So, we have the Discord, we got the YouTube, we got a lot of things going on. We've been doing a lot of things for drafters. We're having fun. I got Pete on, Drafters After Dark. Come hang out with us. It's a fun time. We were talking movies, having a good time and giggling and laughing. It gets late night. So, that's me, man. I just like to have fun, and, this should be fun. It's content, but at the same time, we should have fun with it. Enjoy it.
Right.
Absolutely. All right, guys, my turn from my fantasy football advice, because I'm part of this panel. My fantasy football advice is subscribe to each one of these guys up here on the panel. If you support me, you support them. If you want to win your fantasy football league, subscribe to their content. That's my biggest piece of advice. These are guys who I get my advice from. These are guys who I respect. These are the opinions, especially like Sleazeball. He posts these incredible posts, well-detailed posts on X. Bayou Bengal is the most detail-oriented person when it comes to shorts, especially on YouTube, and just his ranking system, everything like that. And JC, he's just so intuitive in how he drafts his entire process. And he doesn't just do best ball. He does IDP stuff, which is insane. Scott Fish stuff, which is insane. Some warrior thing that I never heard of, but he's in it. He does it. And yeah, man, I highly recommend that you guys subscribe to these channels and support these fellas, because they know their stuff. And if you want to be successful in redraft or best ball, you got to get here for sure.
We're close, man. We're really close to filling right now.
I was gonna say pineapple, but I think it
dropped down.
Where there's one more to fill, and then we'll start filling.
Okay, gotcha.
There's so much to talk. There's so much stuff we could talk about.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I'm not even paying attention to the queue, but I'm just waiting for our keyword. And also, folks, if you are watching
pineapples.
It's not even fresh yet.
Pineapples. I'm in. Did you guys? Is everybody in?
Yeah, man.
Sleaze, are you in?
No.
Cue up, Sleaze. What the break?
Mine says 10
That's the keyword, man. He literally just yelled pineapples.
I yelled it 18 times.
It says 10 of 12.
Not cute.
Are you guys in the 10 of 12?
It's 6 out of 12. Just queue up. You're good. We're doing the main.
$15.
I'm in.
Oh boy, we're here to have fun. Let's
All right.
go.
Man, I love it. Are you in?
Because this is draft starting. I'm in.
Yeah,
Jesus,
starting.
barely. Wow.
Oh,
man, dude, you're giving me a heart attack.
Dude, my shit was tripped out. We're here, baby. Let's go.
Oh, JC, you killed me, brother. That was hilarious. All right, we got B Kurt at the 101. We got to shout out to the entire community because they're here to draft with us. Shout out to them. And our community, I think we almost filled this 100%. We got B Kurt at the 101, the Sports Affiliation. That's JC at the 102. Legzilla, welcome to the community. Welcome to the Fam Jam, brother. He's at the 103. Bayou Bengal at the 104. Quasi, aka the two-time Rumor has it he was drinking a vitamin water when he won first and second place in one of these tournaments. He's drafting out of the 105. He said, y'all fight for third. All right. Sleazeballs at the 106. Bad Guys officials at the 107. He really is a good guy. At the 108, we got Brat, a.k.a. B-Rot, a.k.a. my guy. Welcome to tonight. Jerry Bagshaw at the 109. Yours truly at the 110. Hot Take City at the 111. I don't know who Special H2T is, but we got 11 out of 12 disco balls. This is the ultimate definition of Friendship Friday, guys. Shout out to you guys for making this happen. This is fun. This is what we want to do. Let's get it popping. Let's get weird.
Zamir White's drafting at the 3-hole.
Huh?
Zamir White's at the 3-hole.
Who's Legzilla? Quadimus Decimus Meridius. All right, yeah. Let's tell the folks what we're doing and where we're doing it at and how they can do it too, and then we'll get right into having some more fun. All right, folks. This is not a mock draft. I repeat, not a mock draft. This is a real money draft with real money implications. How much money are we talking about? I'm talking about $2.5 million in total prizes, and $500,000 goes to first. It's total points format. Most points win. PPR as well. It's best ball weekly scoring from weeks 1 to 17. It's a $15 entry. If we hit 40 likes tonight, guys, we're going to give away another ticket, do a fun duck race. I don't know how many likes we're currently at, but let's shoot for it, guys. I love giving back to this community. There's also the Drafters $2 mini, which is a $2 investment. $25,000 to first place. $125,000 in total prizes. Same rules. It's best ball format, which, in my opinion, is the most convenient way for you to draft. You have 20 rounds to fill your roster for depth. Each week, a starting lineup is composed of the following position: 1 quarterback, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 1 flex. At the end of the week, the best overall performances on your roster will be submitted into your weekly matchups. No more leaving points on the bench. No more waiver wires. No more trades. None of that garbage. Okay, all three of you. What do we do with that garbage?
Get that garbage out of here, Sleaze. Let's go, baby.
He misses it everything. Get that garbage out of here. You literally just draft it and forget it unless you're winning a life-changing amount of money. All the guys up here have a promo code as well, so feel free to support their promo code if you're coming from their community. My promo code is promo code DISCO. If you sign up using promo code DISCO or any of these other guys' promo codes, we will double your initial deposit dollar for dollar up to $100 Rooskies when you sign up on Drafters Fantasy Sports. Vinny P, that's a new name. He says Zamir who? Zamir White. Zamir White.
I agree.
I love Zamir White. That's blocking Bengals' face. Not going to work. We are at the 2 spot. Almost full lobby. Damn. Great job, everyone. Let's go. Back-to-back $2 drafts. I got Henry at 44. Broadster says next draft someone took him at the 4th pick. Dang.
I just did 2 drafts with Rob. My guy's been on today.
Nice. This is my first draft of the. I literally just got home like 5 minutes before I sent you guys the invite. My wife, Kobe and the Cow Dog, says 27 out of 40. Broadster says I was going to say we just did 2 drafts together. Nice. You're on the clock. That's not me. That's B. Kurt from Spike Week. My hamstring. I heard someone say duck race. Uh-oh. All right. I like this start a lot. The fact that Drake London's falling makes me so happy here. Very, very happy. So I got AJ Brown and Drake London to start. Sleazeball goes JJ at the 106. Bengal goes with Lamb Lamb fell to you, buddy, at the 104. Legzilla goes Tyreek Hill. Jamar Chase goes to the sports affiliation at the 102. B. Kurt grabs CMC at the 101. Quasi gets Amon-Ra St. Brown at the 105. Bijan to Bad Guys Official. Brock gets Brees Hall. Jerry Bagshaw is already building some correlation with the Rams. And Sleazeball said, screw that. I'm taking Cooper Kupp. Hot take starts Garrett Wilson. All right, guys, we're off and we're ready to go. All right. Okay. All right. So here's a question for the panel. And if you guys chat, okay, to enter tonight's giveaway, we'll make it 30 likes when we hit 30 likes. So I'm assuming we're going to hit 30 likes. Even if we don't, I'm going to do a giveaway. All right. So here's what's going to happen. To enter tonight's giveaway, we need a quality question in the chat for the panel. That's how you enter tonight's giveaway. A quality question for the panel. So I will ask the first question right now. My first question is, who's a player that you think needs to be in 100% of your best ball, 100% of your redraft, 100% of every lineup that people are kind of fading this year. We'll start with you, Bayou Bengal, then we'll go Sleazeball, then we'll finish off with JC Money Design.
So a player that you need to have in 100%. So that's telling me not anybody in like the first couple rounds because you can't control that. I would say if I had to pick one player that I really would probably say I need to get 100% of, I would probably say Brian Thomas Jr. I think he's easy to get in most cases, and I think he's going to be the clear number one. I think overall, as far as like the route running ability, Christian Kirk definitely has that above Brian Thomas. But the way he runs the 9 route, runs down the field, I mean, oh man, I really, really enjoy watching him play football. Being an LSU fan myself, I saw a lot of him play, and if it wasn't for Malik Neighbors, I think he would have got a lot more kind of attention, right, than what he got. But he was so good. But I would have to say probably Brian Thomas Jr. for sure. I think he's going to be very involved with T-Law.
Okay. I like that take a lot. That was my guy. That was 100% my guy. So I got to pivot and think of somebody else. Sleazeball, you're up, Buttercup.
So I'm going to try and connect all the dots at once here. Best ball, redraft, dynasty all together. And I'm going to go with Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think he's fully going to take the wide receiver 2 spot. I think Tyler Lockett's getting older. I think the new offensive coordinator from Washington is going to bring in a full-blown air attack that you're going to see. In my opinion, I wish they had Sam Howell gunslinging it over Geno. But I am fully dialing into Jackson Smith and Jigba this season.
I love that take. These are 2 guys I can't get enough of. So far, you guys are living up to, the hype I gave you guys at the beginning, where you guys are the guys I go to get my advice. JC Money Design, who is that guy that you need to get 100% exposure to here in these drafts?
See, I mean, to me, I took Ayuk here, but the guy who went right after me for the same reason Sleaze has is DK Metcalf is somebody that I'm almost drafting.
Oh God, I love it
all the time, dude. Like if Sam Howell plays, man, what did he have, over 600 passes?
Please.
Even if they're terrible, it's still opportunities. Like players like JSN, like DK Metcalf, they can go up and get the ball. So I mean, even if the ball's coming your way, they can figure out how to go get it. So I mean, like, I don't know how it is. I'm sure I have like 75% of my best ball leagues have DK Metcalf in them. So it's definitely him.
Oh, I'm all about it. Seattle's offense. I love it.
Can you guys guess what I'm about to do here?
Laporta?
Yeah, A.T. Perry too, dude. Oh, where's that card? Hey,
he bully tight ended, bro.
Hey, you guys. Hey, you think that you're the ultimate A.T. Perry guy? Look at this.
Oh,
bro.
Rookie card, baby. Rookie card.
I need that, bro.
Since he came out, I was like, this kid is special, and he showed out a little bit when he got opportunity. I don't know. Did somebody in here come out? I think somebody put out some content. I saw somebody put out some content about A.T. Perry, like with the amount of opportunities with Michael Thomas being gone.
Definitely not me. Definitely not me. I'm not an A.T. Perry guy.
It might have been me. I put out so much content, man. I start losing track of what I'm doing.
Yeah, you are great. Okay, so who's the one guy that Brian Thomas Jr. is number 1 on my list. 100% love Brian Thomas Jr. Obviously, Jamar Chase is like too early and it's never going to fall to me. So it's got to be a guy who's like relatively accessible, somebody who you can draft. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say Keon Coleman. I
was going to use that
100% exposure to Keon Coleman, simply because, and like it's not even a football take. It really isn't even a football take, but it's just one of those things where it's like if we paid attention to C.J. Stroud saying like I want Tank Dell, draft Tank Dell, and we knew C.J. Stroud was going to be the quarterback he was, everybody would have drafted Tank Dell last year, right? We didn't pay attention to that. There's a quarterback named Josh Allen, who is, without a doubt, one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the NFL right now. And he literally texted Keon Coleman and said, I want you on my team. I need you on my team. We're going to draft you. They didn't give a shit about Xavier Worthy. They didn't care about any of that. They said, hey, man, like we're coming to get you, Keon Coleman. He's a great player. There's a lot of vacated targets there. It makes sense. I love him there. I think he's a great pick and somebody who I need to get 100% exposure to. I like him, and I like George Pickens a lot. Those are 2 guys who I need to draft all the time.
Yes.
All right.
I'm on board with that.
All right, B. Kurt, I'm ignoring that question because I briefly watched it and I was like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? Quasi says, who's your favorite last round dart throw? We'll start with JC and then finish off with Bengal. Your second sleazeball. All right, JC, who's your favorite last round dart throw in these?
Hold on, I'm on the clock. I'm on the clock.
Okay.
Pivot.
All right,
Want me to take
sleazeball. Who's your favorite late round dart throw?
My favorite late round dart throw that you all should be targeting that I just started about 2 days ago, I'll say, is Colby Parkinson, the tight end from the Rams. So you have Tyler Higbee, who's 31. He's coming off a major injury. And you get Cooper Kupp back healthy in McVay's system. They're going to be keyed on Puka and Kupp the whole time. And Colby is going to be running free for some big plays in best ball.
I have zero exposure, but I might reconsider. JC, you ready to answer, brother? Okay, you're up.
Let me see. Washington. What's his name? Malik Washington.
Okay, for the wide receiver from Miami.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I think he's got an opportunity to like step in, even if somebody gets hurt. We already see a Waddle kind of go down a little bit here and there, but he's somebody that they already talked about, coming in and have some attention. So in the last round, if I have somebody who can come in and maybe 1 or 2 games, like that's like the A.T. Perry, any of those guys who can come out and just have 1 or 2 explosive games. Like he's somebody who can step in and maybe have that opportunity. In that they have a crazy offense, so maybe they put him in here and like. Boom, he gets this 1 big touchdown, big play, maybe another situation where he gets like, even if he gets like 3 catches, 150, like 110 yards and a touchdown, like that can happen for somebody like that. Big explosive play.
Fair enough. What about you, Bengal? I know you're big on A.T. Perry. I don't want to steal your thunder here.
Yeah, but A.T. Perry, believe it or not, it's rare to get him in the last round nowadays, and it's happening. And this is the guy that I've been getting a lot in the last round. But then again, on the flip side, I have seen him go around early, but it's going to be Tucker Kraft, right? Tucker Kraft is a tight end. When given the opportunity, when Luke Musgrave went down, he was the man. I did a rookie report on this guy right after the NFL draft when they were drafted, when Luke Musgrave actually went ahead of Tucker Kraft with the Green Bay Packers. I said, you know what? I said, Tucker Kraft is a better tight end. If you guys don't believe me, you can look it up on my channel. I put out there, I said, Tucker Kraft will be better than Musgrave. And boy, did he absolutely show that when he had the opportunity. And I think if anything happens, they're going to have a lot of 2 tight end sets for Jordan Love anyway. There's no true number 1 wide receiver right there, in my opinion, for the Green Bay Packers. And I'm telling you, if anything happens to Musgrave and he becomes the man again, Tucker Kraft is going to have a huge dividends for people. You can grab at your 3rd or 4th tight end and be set and forget it. I like Tucker Kraft, man.
I'm gonna stay on that late round tight end, 4th tight end, set and forget it. Obviously, Theo Johnson, somebody who I've been talking about a lot, but there's a guy who I've been getting a lot of exposure to. Obviously, I'm not going to draft another tight end since I went fully tight end with my start here. I'm liking this start a lot, by the way. But there's a late round, if not undrafted tight end that I think has an avenue to be on the field and to get a lot of targets. And he has just as much upside as the guy who, people are drafting in round 9 and 10. And that's Michael Mayer. I think Michael Mayer is a must draft tight end in this format, especially in best ball, because he's going to be on the field a lot of the time. They're going to be in 12 personnel more often than not. And since they're going to be in a lot of 12 personnel, he's going to get his opportunities, and they're going to have to throw the ball eventually. Obviously, they're going to run the ball a lot, but he's a phenomenal player. I see that you got that card. What card don't you have, sir?
It's a Michael Mayer rookie autograph jersey card.
It's a good-looking card. By the way, Quasi's entered the giveaway with his great question, guys. Keep the questions coming. That was a good one. Really, really good question.
What about Zach Ertz, man? What about Zach Ertz?
He's up there, but he's old, man. I don't know what makes it.
That really matters.
Nothing
Really?
to do with him. I personally want
He'll be
nothing.
the man for the first half of the season.
Round swing.
Oh my God, Mixon's gonna fall this far. I'll eat that up.
That's nice.
What about you, Bengal? You there with Ertz?
I love Zach Ertz, man. He's over there. I mean, he's
Last
got
round.
his coach right from Arizona. What did he do over there with Arizona? Cliff Kingsbury. He was the man. They love to wait. Did I really? Yo, I'll take DeAndre Hopkins. But he was the man over there with Cliff Kingsbury, and I think it's going to happen. Ben Sinnott is not going to just come in there and be the man. They're going to have a trusted tight end as the safety blanket for a rookie quarterback who has high hopes. And I think Zach Ertz is going to be the man there, at least for the first half of the season. And you're going to start seeing Ben Sinnott kind of take more and more as the season goes on. But I think as far as early goes, I think I like Zach Ertz, man.
that's kind of what we saw with Trey McBride. Like opportunity kind of. I just feel like Zach Ertz is kind of like he's got a very competitive like kind of personality. Like I don't know if like he dates a soccer player and she's really good. So I mean,
she's an Olympian, isn't she?
Yeah. So like there's a competitiveness even between them. So I think like he's like trying to stay in that competitive situation if he's healthy. So I think that he does have that edge and he has the amount of time in the NFL. He's been good when he's been healthy. So why not swing on somebody like that who could have like tight end? I mean, tight end 2, but like, tight end 13, kind of upside, like somebody like that who's like way late, but could like explode. Like, even if you like find somebody that's like, all right, well, I'm looking for somebody like I'm like late, like, and you draft late tight ends. Like, what if you draft like TJ Hawkinson? Well, he's going to come back way later, right? Well, Zach Ertz is probably now kind of tight end who could kind of fill in there. I don't know. It's just something that I'm thinking about. But
I mean, it's definitely not a bad thought process. I mean, I may consider it. I may not consider it. If I'm building any sort of correlation there, because like if I see guys like Dawson Knox, if I see guys like Michael Mayer, if I see guys like Theo Johnson ahead of him, I'm 100% smashing it. But it's not a bad idea. Like the way you explained it makes me consider wanting to get exposure to him if I'm building a lineup with Washington players. All right, we got another question here from Hot Take City. What's up, my guy Hot Take City? If you guys are not following him on X, please fix your life. He's currently trolling some country singer, and it's really funny. It's really funny the way he's trolling this country singer. He's a Hot Take City, but he definitely trolls people. His question is, what QB is going to do better this year? Is it going to be CJ Stroud or Jordan Love? Sleazeball, I'll let you go first, then we'll go Bengal, then we'll go JC.
CJ Stroud, I don't even need to talk about it. CJ Stroud is going to be better than Jordan Love.
Hot Take City's enter the giveaway, by the way. Okay, CJ Stroud, no matter what, for Sleazeball. You're up, Bengal?
Yep. I would say CJ Stroud. I don't even think it's going to be close, to be honest with you. I think just the weapons that they ended up getting over there when they added in not only Joe Mixon, but they got Stephon Diggs out there. I mean, who are they going to guard at this point? They re-signed Dalton Schultz at the tight end position. Now you got yourself, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, and you got Tank Dell up the middle. What are they going to do? They're going to be passing the ball all over the field. That's what they love to do. I think it's just my gosh, man. Just to fathom the type of fantasy points that he can put up is, I mean, he can be a 20-point fantasy a week average, just up there like what Dak Prescott did last year. So I think it's CJ Stroud. I don't think it's relatively that close. I think, whether if you get 20 average from Stroud, but you get maybe 18 or 17 average from Jordan Love, but that's going to be great. I like Stroud.
I generally thought Hot Take City was going to go with Kyler Murray at the value there. I'm looking at his team, and Kyler was right there for him, and I'm shocked.
I'm so high on Kyler Murray this year, dude. I think this situation.
Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
You got to look. The one thing I kind of look at, everyone talks about Marvin Harrison. Well, we're hoping he's going to be this explosive player. Well, I mean, the genes are there, the talent. He's already showed the talent. Like the last time that Kyler Murray had an explosive wide receiver who was a one who was healthy was Hopkins, and Hopkins had 160 targets that year.
Yeah, but was Hopkins ever I mean, like, I think Kyler's going to be all right. I think he's going to be good, and I think you're entitled to your opinion. I respect it. But let's get back to the topic, and we'll get back to that one later because that's a good talking point. The CJ Stroud, Jordan Love. Who you got, JC?
I'm going CJ Stroud too. I think he's going to still finish as the top 5. I think Jordan Love maybe falls back a little bit this year. It was very, very like his points came on touchdowns. Like he was like at the beginning of the season, it was just like there was so many touchdowns that happened at the beginning of the season. I think he's gonna have a regression this year. He'll probably still be top 7, top 8. I think that CJ Stroud, he falls into that top 4 or 5 this year. He was 9 last year.
It's QB5 or Love was QB5. It's still gonna be close. Stroud could throw for 5,000 yards. I mean, I don't see Jordan Love doing that.
So all 3 of you went CJ Stroud?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing this to be different. And in my fantasy football rankings, I have Jordan Love as QB1 this year. He is my QB1 this year in fantasy football. I have him favored, and I have taken the bet that he's going to finish off as not only the Super Bowl MVP, and the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl, but he's going to be the league MVP as well. I'm very bullish on Jordan Love this year. I think he's going to make an incredible jump. I'm not necessarily buying on the hype or what he did last year, but I love the building blocks that Green Bay's done this offseason. I love the steps that they're taking. His poise there in the pocket is phenomenal. His touch, his release, everything he does as a quarterback is absolutely spectacular. And I think we see a superstar in the making. And at the end of this football season, not just football season, but fantasy football season, Jordan Love is going to be, one of the mainstays, one of the main names. I'm very bullish on him. That's a hot take if I ever did make a hot take. But
that's a hot take. Yeah.
Cool.
Like
don't
I mean, you can't go against it.
Dak.
I was gonna say, has Favre or Rodgers ever finished as the number one? Do we know? Has Favre or Rodgers in fantasy football ever finished as the number one?
I mean, Aaron Rodgers has definitely come close to it. He's definitely sniffed it. And I'm not necessarily – I'm talking about Jordan,
go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think Aaron Rodgers ever finished as a QB1, but he's definitely come close, especially in a passing premium league. He definitely doesn't have that rushing upside like other guys. But I wouldn't say C.J. Stroud has a rushing upside either. And I think when you look at them in comparison, they're both kind of the same person as a rusher. So what it comes down to is, the passing touchdowns, the ability to get into the end zone. And I personally generally think that Jordan Love, especially with his current value at ADP, he just went off the board as player 103, right? I think with his current value, he is a league winner in every single draft, and I can't get enough exposure to Jordan Love 100%. I'm all in on him. I'm all in on the Jordan Love express.
That's crazy. Yeah, okay. I like that.
I feel like the team is better in Houston.
Not the defense, though.
They just beefed up on defense. They, really? I think Danielle Hunter they got a huge upgrade in Danielle Hunter.
He did.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm thinking about just simply the offense, C.J. Stroud has a lot of great weapons, but his offensive line is still atrocious.
Yeah.
His offensive line is still absolutely terrible. His run game should be improved, but I also don't trust Joe Mixon to be, great. Yes, they made a lot of stride with big chunk plays, but I think teams are going to adjust. And I think in the offseason, that division in particular has adjusted to what Houston does. And I'm not saying I'm out on C.J. Stroud. I'm not saying C.J. Stroud's not going to be a great quarterback. I'm just saying I like Jordan Love way more because his weapons are younger, hungrier. They're not divas. Definitely not divas. I mean, don't get me wrong. Nico Collins, I love. I think Stephon Diggs, once again, is going to start the season off amazingly, and then he's just going to completely disappear. So I'd sell high if you have him in a redraft format. But I'm just saying, all signs on all avenues is pointing for me personally, from all my research, all my breakdowns, it's pointing for Stroud to absolutely crush it this year. I already have too many week 5 buys, so I'm just going to.
Potential is definitely there for QB1, so you can't argue against it. But that's bold. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm not just saying it for the clicks and for people. I generally, in my heart of hearts, I'm very invested in this. I think he's going to be great. Quasi says, Sleaze, you sniper. The Sports Addict Network. Shout out to the Sports Addict Network. This guy is providing free money on a daily basis on his X. Just follow him on X, tail his bets, you'll cash. Doesn't matter what sport. I'm pretty sure he does water polo, cricket. It doesn't matter. He'll have a bet that's going to hit. Make sure you follow. Make sure you tail. Make sure you support my guy. Great dude. Shout out to him. He says, "Look at all these studs on the panel." I know, right? I assembled the dream team. I wanted the double tap. What double tap? I feel like I'm so behind in the chat.
Quasi and me are going a snipe battle back and forth, man. He took him jig battles.
JC just shake his head after my pick.
Oh, yeah, Brock Purdy. You saw me.
I was looking at your face.
I like this, Anthony. Anthony says Ertz is a coach on the field. That's how I view him. I don't necessarily believe in and Ertz, but like once again, I think JC's like it's very his reasoning is sound. It makes sense the way he says it. And he came very close to convincing me. Once again, guys, to enter our giveaway for our
takes Herbert, bro. JC.
For a free entry tonight, just put a well thought in question.
Yeah.
So Will FF has entered the giveaway by saying, "How do we feel about Dalton Schultz with the big payday?" What you guys giggling about? What I missed?
Everybody's just sniping everybody, man.
Making all my shit.
We're just a dagger fight over here, just daggers. Stabbing each other over here. Just
okay, I need to catch up with that. But Will has entered the giveaway, so let's give Will the attention. Let's go Bengal first. We'll go JC, then we'll go Sleazeball. How do we feel about Dalton Schultz with the big payday? Did he just get paid?
Yeah.
He signed. He came back. He was in free agency and they ended up giving a nice little deal to come back. I like Dalton Schultz a lot. I think the problem, or not really necessarily the problem, but the issue that's going to happen with Houston is they have 3 wide receivers that they're going to have to play nickel or diamond all the time. And there goes Dalton Schultz right underneath. He's going to do some drag routes and he's going to get so much opportunities for first downs and things like that. People are going to forget about Dalton Schultz because they have so much firepower at the wide receiver position that you can get a lot of fantasy points from Dalton Schultz. So I love Dalton Schultz and I try to draft him when I can.
I mean, I very fair assessment. I also like what Two Fat Guys says here. He says it isn't the payday that concerns me with Schultz, it's the crowded wide receiver room. But like in best ball, why not? The value's too good. Absolutely. Who did I say was next? Is it JC or Sleazeball? Which one of you wants to go first?
Please.
Me? Dude, Dalton Schultz for me, I'm staying away from even at his value. So, I mean, if I look at it like this and I go to his tight end ADP, what is he at right now? He's at, let's just do redraft here instead. So Dalton Schultz is falling at the 125, so about round 11. But then I see Pat Freiermuth, Cole Kmet's kind of in the same thing. He's okay. I guess it's okay for the value, but I'd rather have players below him like Hunter Henry. I'd rather see more volume, like Hunter Henry's going to be the focal point, or even, I could say Luke Musgrave, but I'm afraid of Kraft. I just don't like his opportunity of the target share he's going to see. I'm going to say it's around like 15%.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like he's gonna like exactly what Bayou said. Like there's gonna be a lot of tension on these receivers, and then you're gonna have these nice little dump offs. I mean, that's the same thing. Like, do you see CJ Stroud dumping it off to his running back? Probably not. You're gonna depend on that big target in the middle of the field. If you're in it's a situation where you need to dump it off, it's gonna be the big guy. So I feel like Schultz is gonna get a lot of those targets. He'll probably get a lot of red zone targets when they get close. I like Schultz this year. I think that he's a good value. I agree with. I'm a huge Pat Freiermuth fan as a player.
Yes.
I just don't know.
I look at it as
it's more when Russell was in Seattle, he did not really throw towards his tight end, but he did a little bit more when he was in Denver, only because who were his targets? And then Dulcich ended up getting hurt. Like, I don't know if I see Russ. Now, if you see Fields going, I think that you see Freiermuth get a little bit of a bump because he definitely depended on Cole Kmet.
Fair assessment. I mean, in terms of best ball, when I look at Dalton Schultz, I would consider him as a great ceiling play. Not as a safe floor play. So I'd probably I would draft him. I would draft him as, my tight end 3 if I go relatively late for tight end and don't start with my bully tight end approach. Or if he's my first tight end off the board, I'm probably going with a 4 tight end build because I think he's a great ceiling play, and I would stagger him with a bunch of other high ceiling plays. Great questions, guys, so far.
Were we talking best ball or redraft there?
Just best ball.
Oh, okay. So best ball, yeah, I'm okay with his value in best ball. I just don't like it in redraft. I'll change.
Yeah, redraft. I'm not touching him. I'm not touching him at all.
Okay.
And I hate it when I agree with Sleazeball. I really do. But I mean, that's why you're on the panel. You know your shit, and we agree a lot, and we definitely disagree a lot for sure. Two fat guys. Anthony says, who's the second-year player that we are expecting to break out after a disappointing rookie season? Ooh, I like that question a lot. I know my answer. We'll start with Mr. Sleazeball, then we'll go to By Bengal, and then we'll go JC Money Design, then myself.
Who is the second player we are expecting to break out?
No. Who is the second-year player that we are expecting to break out after a disappointing rookie season? By the way, Two Fat Guys has entered the giveaway.
Who is a breakout player that had a bad rookie season? Oh man, I already dropped in Jigba, so I mean that one I can't use that. Jordan Addison popped off. I'm gonna go with a deep sleeper here, and I'm gonna go with Trey Tucker out of the Raiders. Very deep 20-round pick. I could have used this at the beginning too. He's been lighting up camp, and he gets the kick return and punt return double dip as well.
He better.
And I think he's gonna be that's like a deep breakout player, right? Deep breakout player. Not, I would have said it in Jigba, but I already used it.
Okay, but JSN would be your first answer.
That'd be my number one, yeah.
Okay, I like that answer a lot more than the one you just gave me.
You don't like Trey Tucker, but you're gonna know. You're gonna find out.
I really don't, but I have my reasons. But we'll go JC, then Bengal, and then I'll finish off.
So I guess somebody that I guess it's the same kind of. I mean, as a returner, but at the same time, I feel like he's going to get a situation where he's going to be probably the number 2 receiver. I like Marvin Mims, dude. And you can get him really late too. I mean, in best ball, I think that he's going to be in a good situation. I guess it's Bo Nix throwing to him, but I like Marvin Mims. And another player would be McLaughlin. I mean, I like him too as another player.
Yeah,
I love him.
That's
I think
good.
he's in a good situation. He can be the guy.
I'm saying Demario Pop Mother Effin Douglas. I almost cursed and did another giveaway, but I didn't do it. I watched myself, bad guys, and I know you told me to watch my cursing at the beginning. I'm saying Demario Pop Douglas. Dude had so much potential. Like we saw some explosive, flash plays that just didn't really happen because that team last year just didn't have it. Nobody performed there because Mac Jones was awful. That defense was awful. Everything about them was awful. There's so much improvement happening there. The culture feels like it's coming back. Bill Belichick's gone, so we're no longer going to have bad draft picks. I think Drake May might be really good for us. I think he might be spectacular for us, and it's going to be nice to see Demario Douglas in space doing his thing. And like you said about Mims, I like his return upside. So great question there, Anthony. Love it.
Okay. I mean,
no, if please go.
I mean, I was thinking like breakout. Those are, Pop Douglas is kind of a house name. When I was giving my answer, I was thinking like not a player you've seen. I was looking at it differently. Like
I mean, if you want to change your answer, now's the time. Don't get cute with it.
No, I don't want to change my answer. I like Trey Tucker. I like him as a breakout player that no one knows about.
Lee Carter. That's what I think about when I hear Tucker. All right. Broadster has entered the giveaway with a question. He says, what player taken in the first 4 rounds typically are you avoiding? Oh, Bengal, did we miss you? Fudge. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Bengal. I literally went ahead of you. My bad, man. My bad.
I know. Look, do I have to say it at this point?
I'm sorry.
You guys know who the rookie is last year that I drafted in 52% of my drafts?
A.T. Perry.
A.T. Perry.
That's why I didn't ask you. That's why I didn't ask you.
It's not even going to be close.
I'm sorry, man. I apologize, sir. Forgive me. A.T. Perry. All right. So other than being a homer, why A.T. Perry? Why should people consider A.T. Perry?
It is other than being a homer. Be honest with you. This love came before he was drafted by the Saints. I watched him at Wake Forest. 6'4" wide receiver, can get up there and high point the football at a high clip. He's very, very consistent with the football. It just so happens when he got into a rookie, he had difficulty learning the playbook, right? So he just didn't, he wasn't running his routes. He wasn't where he was supposed to be. But when given the opportunity, this dude is absolutely spectacular. We're talking about like really highlight type of plays. And I'm telling you, the way he high points the football, and he showed it the last game of the season when he had the 2 touchdown game, he's got tons of talent. And I'm telling you, when he was drafted by the Saints, that made me super excited because I do a lot of rookie stuff on my channel itself. I do a lot of rookie breakdowns prior to the NFL draft to help people understand what people are doing in college. So now that when I knew who he was and A.T. Perry came over to the Saints, It just so happened to look like it was a homer, but I think his talent is just out of bounds right now, and people are going to really realize who A.T. Perry is. I'm excited for it, man.
Fair enough. What happened to JC? Where'd he go? Does he need to tinkle?
I think he went to go get the A.T. Perry card.
Gotcha.
Do you
I
think
think
A.T. Perry is going to put up more fantasy points than Trey Tucker?
Come on, dude.
Both wide receiver threes.
The answer is 100% yes. 100% yes.
Ooh.
Even in best ball, I think that A.T. Perry has more points than Trey Tucker. I mean, in best ball right now, you're not really getting
just a voice right now. Where's your camera? Oh, there you go.
I was just say like the situation is different. Yes, Trey Tucker could potentially be great, but like I feel like there's a lot of players there too. Like they just got Brock Bowers in there too. Like they're gonna have 2 tight ends they're gonna run. They have a number 1 receiver. Plus they got Jacoby Myers. Like Trey Tucker probably isn't gonna get a lot of play. I feel like this is the year that they're gonna use him as a returner. Last year they didn't have a great, a receiver core.
Oh, I mean, he gets the same playing time as Perry. They're both wide receiver threes.
I don't think he's the wide receiver 3 there personally.
Shaheed is definitely the 2.
If we're looking at the blueprint of the
A.T. Perry's like 2.
Yeah, if we're looking at the blueprint of like the prototype wide receiver that the Raiders are running with in their 2-man sets, which let's be honest, they're going to have 2 wide receivers predominantly when they play. And like I'm not saying you're wrong. Once again, this is all theoretical, just based off of my research. I think Michael Gallup is a better wide receiver 3 for that program than Trey Tucker because he fits the mold of the 2 wide receivers that they currently do have. And let's be honest, Michael Gallup was once upon a time a very explosive, phenomenal player who's coming off of a bunch of injuries. I think he could be a very good late round sleeper that I invest in. Obviously, he's not a year 2 player, but that's where my head's at personally. That's where my head's at personally. But I'm liking this back and forth. I love this.
So you're telling me that Perry is starting over Shaheed at the 2?
No, I mean they're different players. They're different players. They're just different. They're different players. And, you got this big, like A.T. Perry is the guy. The big guy is going to run down the field and try to catch that big play. Like that's A.T. Perry. Right. Your run down the field guy. I feel like now it's a situation with Michael Thomas being gone. There's a lot. I mean, I guess not really, but I feel like Taysom Hill now is way.
You're up, JC.
Oh.
Well, I got a question to go with it. What position do you think more in the NFL today gets more target share? A slot wide receiver or a big wire X that just goes up and gets a deep ball?
Which brings me to my next question. So I'd love to answer your question. Obviously, like I know what you're alluding to. You're alluding to saying that obviously the slot receiver gets a bunch of targets, so he's going to be a PPR monster, right? But when you invest 2 high round picks in 2 of the best tight ends in the last 5 years, for the Raiders, how often do you project that the Raiders are going to go in less than a 2-man? Like I'm anticipating the Raiders are going to run 2 tight end sets, 70% of their offensive plays, and that's me lowballing it. Without me, like I think it might be even more, but that's me lowballing it. That's me lowballing it completely, right? So with that being said, how often is he going to get on the field as a 2 wide receiver set? Right, in a 2 wide receiver set. God forbid anything happens to Devontae Adams or Jacoby Myers, the first guy up to replace them because he's a larger body and capable of blocking, because we know they want to run the rock a lot. That's going to be Michael Gallup. I don't see the avenue other than the return game and maybe the very, very small opportunity where they are in a 3 receiver set. I don't see Tucker getting on the field a lot. I like the player. I like the profile. I hate the situation for him.
Yeah, he's the same size as Devon
I mean, the Raiders did also throw the ball to the tight end, the second worst in the NFL last year. I know they brought in their new coach supposed to help. I got to see it to believe it first.
Did they run a lot of 2 tight ends in Indianapolis?
It's a new regime. It's a new regime. Just look at what they're doing. Bengal, you're up, and then JC. I saw your hand up as well, so we'll go.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too with the regime, especially like Indianapolis. They come from Indianapolis, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they ran probably some of the most two tight end sets forever. Like you got whether it was Mo Alley Cox, whether it was Granson, and then when Jelani Woods was there as well, they ran a lot. And they've already came out with a press conference as we want to run more two tight end set because Michael Mayer should be a big part of our offense. So with that happening with the 5'9" wide receiver, oh man, I just don't get it. And I think Michael Gallup. There's a reason why they signed him. I think it'll be over. I'm not saying you're wrong. It could be right. Who knows? That's just my opinion. That I think Gallup would be the choice.
Well, they just dropped today that Bowers will be blocking more. So I mean, what update are you going to?
He was one of the worst blocking tight ends in the NCAA.
He was drafted so high, he's not blocking.
Well, yeah, I know, but their updates.
All right, I guess here's what my thoughts are. Did Minshew get brought into there before the draft started?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a reason they went out and drafted another tight end because he played with two tight ends. I'm pretty sure he did as well when he was with
Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, so I think it's just something that they know. Minshew is their pillow. He's like their padding. Like he's the guy. Like if things don't work out with Aiden, like he's like the guy they can fall back on. Like they're a defensive built team. You can see that they went out and grabbed another defensive player, from Miami. I'm pretty sure, right? They brought in somebody from Miami.
Yeah, the defensive tackle there.
So they're building a defensive team. They're gonna run the ball. Like that's the whole that's what their coach is there to do. Like I feel like they're gonna run a lot of tight end sets. Minshew is the guy who can be there. Like there's a reason they brought another tight end. Like I think that Minshew is gonna end up being the guy, and they want him to be comfortable to have two of these big targets in case I don't know. It's just I'm investing a lot. I don't know. There's something in certain leagues I am investing in Vegas because I think they have
everything but the leader. They need a quarterback.
They have that leader. They have Minshew. I love Minshew is like one of my favorite players because he's like a great locker room guy. Like he's gonna be that guy. He's gonna have a huge he's gonna have so much fun. Like you saw his pictures, dude. He's ready to have fun. Like he's gonna bring that to this Raiders thing. And there's something. That's something.
One moment, folks. I need to address something, guys. We're not going to be able to get to all the questions because that was a really good question and really good conversation. So we're going to pivot. Okay, we're going to pivot. We're going to put hashtag community. Shout out to Buy Bengal with this idea the other night. Hashtag community to enter the giveaway. If you guys did ask a question initially, please put hashtag community. Everybody, it's a fresh. Sorry, I know the questions were great. It was very, very good. Hashtag community to enter our giveaway, guys. And we'll do a nice duck race for you guys at the end. But please keep the questions coming because this is very great interaction.
Well, we could do a 6-hour show, Disco, with all these.
Just keep going with the argument.
100%. I'm loving this. I'm enjoying this. I think it's really cool, and it's
one quick point, real quick. What
Yes,
was the production of the double tight end set for the Colts ever? What do they do in fantasy ever?
Well, I mean, you gotta look at the talent.
That's all I'm saying.
Come on now.
Your sample size is like, okay, you need to look at the players, not necessarily the formation, right? You got to look at the players they brought in to do this formation. If they are going to go into a 3-wide set, right, where they have one traditional tight end, Brock Bowers has the versatility to go into the slot. So he's not necessarily just a tight end. The same way the Patriots ran Rob Gronkowski and they ran Aaron Hernandez, I'm saying we're going to see something very similar, probably less rushing, plays, like design rushing plays for Brock Bowers that we saw for the killer Aaron Hernandez. God, was he ever a killer. But yeah, that's what I'm anticipating. I know you guys have a lot of points, and we could talk about Trey Tucker until we're blue in the fucking face.
Getting Trey Tucker in the draft.
Dude, Michael Mayer was drafted in the second round. He was
man, and he was one of the best tight ends
high
ever.
value too. Like there's two tight ends that are high value tight ends that they drafted on that team. There's a reason for it. They're going to run two tight end sets, and they're both probably going to be receivers.
That's 100% why they brought them in. But I mean, like once again, I respect your opinion because you could be right and I could be wrong. All right, next question. Andrew N says, if Kyler doesn't perform well this season, he will be a mess. That's not a question. That's a declaration, but I agree. Jordan Love man, we are so behind on the chat. I'm so sorry, chat, but I'm also loving this conversation, so I'm not that sorry. This is great stuff. This is why we brought you guys on the panel, because I love this shit. Diggs. Sleaze. Hello, Maverick. Thank you for subscribing and thank you for coming and supporting your boy Sleaze. What's up, Maverick? Sup, y'all, says Wendy. Guys, shout out to Wendy early.
Best friend. Hi,
Wendy.
like I always say nice things about Wendy, but I'm gonna let JC, because she's part of the TSA family as well. I'm gonna let JC shout her out.
Wait till you meet her, dude. She's like the best person in the world. Just
I can't. Well, my wife's the best person in the world. Just saying that. But shout out to Wendy. I love Wendy. I adore Wendy. She's one of my favorite human beings. But yes, Wendy, you can find her on the Sports Affiliation Wednesdays. It's called Game Changers. She's on Women's of Fantasy Football. Wendy, is there anything else she's on X? Wendy early on X, one of the nicest, kindest, greatest people on the planet as well. Once again, part of the Sports Affiliation family, and that's the standard that JC and IDP Iggy kind of set there, where they just bring in amazing, wonderful people. This is round 20 already.
Yeah, round 20.
How we get here, folks?
Good conversation.
Talking.
Dude, this is the fastest draft I've ever been a part of. I'm not lying to you.
Yeah, because we got a lot of bounce back and forth. I mean, we got a lot of, there's a lot of knowledge here. And the best part about the knowledge here is it's all, we all have different brains. So we just pick at fantasy.
I like hearing every single side of it. I think it's solid.
Yeah. We just look at things differently. Everyone's
so glad. If I had Disco's brain, I'd eat raw meat. I'd be like,
you'd eat raw meat. Mine too.
Medium rare, no matter what. Okay.
No.
This is a question from Legzilla. This is Justin Sokolov. He says, how far are you willing to reach to complete a quarterback wide receiver stack? I'll go first, and then we'll go down the line, JC, Sleaze, and then Bengal. I'm not willing to reach at all. If it doesn't come to me at a value, I don't want anything to do with it. Shout out to Legzilla and Justin Sokolov on X. Please follow my guy on X. Really, really smart fantasy football guy. Shout out to him. This is his first day on Drafter, so I'm very curious to see how he did his on his lineup. Chris says, so go ahead, JC. How far are you willing to reach?
Well,
for a quarterback, wide receiver stack.
Here's the thing: is like for me. I guess I faded quarterback in this one, which is probably going to affect me, but for me, in all honesty, I might just go get Aiden O'Connell. I don't know. I don't, like I said, I don't know what's going to be in that situation. I was going to grab Joe Burrow to get the stack, but I just waited again. And then I was going to get Brock Purdy for the stack, and I just waited again, and I was just like, all right, Herbert's falling. So I'll just, I'm willing to wait. That's why, you're good to go.
What are you guys pointing at?
I'm just watching this guy make faces. I can't help myself. Oh, man.
Honestly, the screen's too small for me to notice. Sleazeball, are you willing to reach? How far are you willing to reach?
Here's the breakdown. I had to learn my lesson. When I first started drafting on Drafters, I decided to go for a CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott stack about 30 spots early, ruined my entire draft. And I think I've done a lot of research on this.
You couldn't sleep for days after that.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Now what I've done is I like to build avenues through players of quarterbacks learning their ADP. So like if I'm going for a stack of, say Kyler Murray, right? If I start with Marvin Harrison Jr., if Kyler Murray doesn't fall to me, then I'll start to build the next quarterback down that I want, a player to them, and start building more multiple avenues for the stacks to fall to me instead of reaching for them.
Gotcha. We'll pull up the draft in a bit. We're just going to get to 2 or 3 more questions, and then we'll look at the lineups. All right, guys? So we're just going to – all right. Kings Showtime 44 says who – Bengal. Sorry, I did it again. Go ahead, Bengal. My bad.
I was going to tell you, if in a situation where somebody ahead of you has either Sam Laporta or Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm willing to reach around for Jack and Goff. Other than that, no, I don't ever reach for any quarterback whatsoever. I don't reach for it if it doesn't fall to me. Like even if once you guys look at my draft, check out what I did here with Dak Prescott. I could have got him at 93. His ADP's at 92. I waited to 100 to take him. So just in that reaching, I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'd rather let the values fall to me because you're not giving yourself a unique advantage by reaching on a stack just for the sake of stacking 100%. There was a question I was about to ask, but I got to – okay. Let's do a quick answer here. No explanation or rationale. Just put it out there. Who is your dark horse for fantasy football MVP? I will go first. I'm going to sorry. You know what? Bayou, you go first.
George
A.T. Perry.
George Pickens.
JC.
Honestly, if so, I'm gonna go with it again. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, I'll go Garrett
Good.
Wilson. Yeah, Garrett Wilson. I was on it last year. The talent is there. If Rodgers is healthy, he's got a Devonta Adams like stats. He's shown he's quarterback proof. He's very, very good. He just needs, Aaron Rodgers is special, so he can do a lot of crazy things and make things happen. And if you get a lot of that, I think Garrett Wilson could be that guy.
Facts.
Nice. I like the answer. Sleazeball, you're up.
I don't think Kyler Murray counts, but I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers along with JC. That's been my dark horse MVP call for a while now. I mean, he's one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. All he has to do is stay healthy. He makes throws that no quarterback in the history of this game can make, man. And you get Garrett Wilson, you get Mike Williams, I got a Malachi Corley handpicked by Aaron Rodgers in the draft. I mean, it's Breece Hall. It's lights up. And they got a great defense, man, great offensive line. They stacked it better. The Jets are a scary team. It all comes down to him, though. Everything.
It does.
I'm gonna go and say, obviously, I want to say Zamir White, but I'm also gonna go and no. I mean, Jamar Chase, no matter what, right? That you guys know the drill. I'm gonna say Drake London.
Mm-hmm.
I like the addition of Kirk Cousins, and even if Kirk Cousins isn't right, I love Michael Penix Jr. was my second favorite quarterback coming out this year. So as a fallback option, they have two phenomenal quarterbacks with spectacular arms. I think we finally get to see Drake London unleashed, and I love the value that he's currently being drafted at. We got a bunch of guys saying community and gals just entering the giveaway. Let's go. Wendy's phenomenal. King Showtime. BD sniped me around for round 20. Who did I take in round 20? Brooks? Yeah, I mean, I see everybody taking him. Why not? I'll give it a go. Don't tell people I'm nice. You're the sweetest people. Okay. Chris says, Disco, I can't believe that 20th rounder after my article should have been Florida. It should have been Florida. You're absolutely right. Shout out to my guy. I appreciate it. 100% should have been Florida. But I'm also, trying to navigate hosting a show here and drafting at the same time. I think I did okay with my draft, but you're right. Florida, that was a great article. Please post that article so I can. I know I reposted it, but please post it again so I can reshare it to one of my Twitter groups. It's a spectacular article, a really good read. I like to read a lot. Wendy just says, Jerry, what's up? Okay, let's keep catching up. Hashtag community. All right. God, let's go. We got everything, guys. We caught up. All right, you guys ready to break down some rosters?
Let's do it.
Okay, so I will say we're not going to rush this. I know Sleazeball, you got a show at 8:30, so if you guys step out, totally understandable. And JC, I know you got a show over at 9:15 p.m. Eastern time or 9:30.
9:15.
9:15. So we got more drafters content coming right after this. Shout out to Bobby Bengal handing the baton off to us. Like he's streaming nonstop. I think he's been on stream for like 8 hours today. Shout out to Bobby Bengal. I keep forgetting about you, but I'm so appreciative of you handing off the baton. What is going on, dude? Are you DJing right now? Are you DJing? All right. So here's the order. Okay, and we're going to keep the same order the entire time. I'm going to break down the roster. Like I'm going to say the roster construction, who's on. You guys are going to give me a grade, and if there's something you like, let's make it quick and snappy. We'll go from left to right. Then, yeah. So we're going to address everybody in the draft except for the 112. Watch the 112 be the best one out of all of us. All right, B. Kurt. This guy, we don't grade B. Kurt because he's placed first in one of these tournaments, but also I hate how he drafts. I generally do. Shout out to Victory Voice Sports. Great follow on YouTube, great follow on X. Shout out to them. They've entered the giveaway as well. Guys, once again, hashtag community to enter the giveaway. If you guys still have more questions, we will gladly address them if it's a good one. So B. Kirk goes 2-8-8-2. Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones at the quarterback position. Running back, he goes CMC, Jonathan Brooks, Javonte Williams, Blake Corum, Antonio Gibson, Bucky Irving, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Evan Hull. There's some okay. He's usually a 0 RB kind of guy, but I mean, drafting at the 101, you're going to have to take CMC. And he's been showing us in Discord he has a high exposure to CMC. Wide receiver, he goes Malik Neighbors, Devonta Smith, Keenan Allen, Roma Dunze, I think he was hoping for Caleb. Adonai Mitchell, Jalen Polk, Rashad Bateman. He took the Bateman. George Kittle, Brock Bowers. All right, Bengal, you're first.
What? I thought you said we wasn't grading them. Are we grading them?
Yeah. Just,
okay.
Do you like it or hate it?
No, C minus.
Okay. Sleaze?
C.
JC?
I don't know. I'm probably gonna go. I just like Jalen Hurts and McCaffrey, Brooks. I'm probably gonna go with C+.
Any team with Javonte Williams is a C. It's just my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, and Bateman, Hurts.
He's a master.
Master. Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of names I like. He just needs 2 RBs to hit. And I think he has the avenue for 2 RBs to hit. He took Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts has every right to be a top 5, top 3 quarterback. I know Bengal doesn't agree. We'll get to that someday. I like the wide receivers. Don't love the wide receivers, but there's some correlation. Obviously, Malik Neighbors to go with Daniel Jones and Devonta to go with Jalen Hurts. It's not bad, and both of the tight ends he got both have very high upside. If you guys have been watching receiver, Kittle's pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, not bad. All right, let's go Legzilla. This is his first draft. Be kind, okay? He goes 3-6-8-3, so very standard, safe build. I like it. He goes Joe Burrow, Geno Smith, Derek Carr. He goes Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, Kendre Miller, Ty Chandler, and please give him advice, okay, because this is his first one. Ty Chandler, Donta Foreman, Damian Pierce. Wide receiver, he goes Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. Nice double stack there. I like it. DK Metcalf, T. Higgins, Jordan Addison, Rashid Shaheed, Jermaine Burton, another double stack. Nice. A triple stack. Andre Yoshavash. Tight end, he goes Dallas Goedert, Noah Fant, Kate Otten. Bengal?
Yeah. I don't mind it. I would say if I would give him like a B on this, and the advice that I would give for him is probably 2 things. One thing, it's a good advice is saying I think you did a good job because you got Joe Burrow, you got your stud, and your secondary player was Geno Smith. There's some question marks there. Is it going to be him or Sam Howell? So what you did is you backed it up with another lower tier quarterback in Derek Carr. I like what you did there. And my second thing would be to watch those running backs, because if you're going to get 2 studs and then the rest of these guys, just make sure your 2 studs aren't on the same bye week, because on week 10, there's a good chance you may score very little points. And in these type of tournaments, you've got to really score those points. So just try to stagger your bye weeks if you're only going 2 studs at the running back position. But other than that, I think you did really good at the running back, and I think you did really good at the tight end position, although Kate Otten shouldn't be playing football. But, yeah, that's what I would say.
I love the first 6 receivers. I generally love them. That's a very good
job. Nice.
Yeah. You're up, Sleazeball.
That's because Rashid Shaheed is better than Perry. Okay. Let me
Different
dive into
players,
this here.
Different players.
So the one thing that I would have done to make your draft better, where the one mistake that I don't want to call it a mistake, but the one thing I would have done differently is you have the stack of Jalen Waddle and Tyreek going, and you had the chance. You gave me Tua right here, right? You took Kendre Miller.
I agree with
Kendre Miller is a nice backup piece, but you could have had Joe Burrow and Tua and been done and had your double stacks complete, and I would have gave it like a B+, A-. But since that and the buys of the running back that Bengal brought up, you're going to really struggle week 10. And you're I guess, week 6 for wide receiver, you'll have 3-4 roll, and that's not bad. But I don't think you needed the third tight end either, especially Kate Otten. I don't think, even though you got him 50 spots after ADP, you could have stacked a little more because you have 4 buys at wide receiver as well. You could have stacked a little more depth.
That's good advice. Who is Legzilla, Disco, in chat?
That is Justin Sokolov, and it's also Justin Sokolov on X.
Cool.
For sure. And he just joined our Discord as well as Legzilla, so we'll send your links there so he can draft with you guys and keep making his craft a little bit better here, because you guys are definitely giving great feedback here and great breakdown. JC, keep it going, brother.
See, so I would have even just faded Joe Burrow, and just maybe you already had the double stack of Tyreek Hill and Waddle, you grabbed DK. You got Geno there, so you already have your stack there. I would have just faded Burrow, waited around. What is it? Round later that you got Tua? Was it a round later? Or 2 rounds later?
3 rounds.
I feel like you could have got better players there in those rounds. You faded Joe Burrow, get Tua, right, to get your stack right there with Tyreek Hill. Then if you're going to grab Geno, I think to me, it's if you're going to grab another quarterback, just grab Sam Howell at the end, right? To just then you have your stack, right, with Geno. I mean, this is just my opinion. You know, you solidify. You have 2 quarterbacks basically. You have your Geno with Sam Howell, and you have your elite stud or somebody. You know, I feel like Tua should be a stud. You know, if he's healthy, he's a stud. You know, so that to me, it's like you could have probably grabbed some more like point scorers. You know, with those 2 rounds there instead of grabbing Joe Burrow. Wait on Tua.
Chris, there will be other drafts after this, but it will be on Sleazeball's channel. He's going to be doing a $15 draft, and JC Money Design is going to be doing a $2 mini over
We're
on
doing
his
15
channel.
too, baby.
You're doing a 50. Yeah, so they're both doing the drafters main. So you have multiple opportunities to draft with either one of these guys later on. So 8:30 for Sleazeball, 9:15 for JC.
I pushed mine to 6, by the way. So you got time to chat it up or whatever you want.
What's 6? Is that 9 p.m. Eastern time?
9 p.m. Eastern, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm like 6. I'm like, dude, it's
it's hard. I don't ever use Eastern time. I gotta get used to it.
No, you're right. You're in Cali. My bad. All right. So when I look at your quarterback situation, I think you have a very safe floor with all of these players. I think they all have top 10 upside on a week-to-week basis. I think on a week-to-week basis, you can have 2 top 3 wide receivers, top 5 wide receivers on a week-to-week basis easily, just based off of ceiling and floor. What you did here at the wide receiver position is extremely unique and very spectacular. Your running back position, I agree with what Bengal and Sleazeball and JC all said. You know, the room is good, but you need to make sure that your first 2 RBs, your first 2 stud RBs, don't share the same bye week, because you are kind of shooting yourself in the foot for week 10. But other than that, your tight ends, I mean, there's an avenue. There's more correlation. Like, you did good. It's a very good draft. For me, it's a B+, especially for your first one here on Drafters. Great work, man. I'm looking forward to drafting with you moving forward. Tilly Turtle has entered the giveaway. Sleazeball has ran away saying BRB 5 minutes. Okay. Back to the chat here. Okay. Yeah, good work, man. Very, very good work. We'll look at Quasis, then Bad Guys, then Brats, then Jerry's, then Hot Takes. Quasi goes 2-6-9-3, 2-6-9. Lamar Jackson on Quasi's team. Shocker. He goes Lamar Jackson, Jared Goff, Devon Achane, Brian Robinson, Chase Brown, Zach Charbonnet, Tyler Algier, Audric Esteem. Not bad at the running back position. It's very unique. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Nico Collins, Amari Pooper, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jameson Williams. So a lot of correlation for sure. Ricky Pearsall, Michael Wilson, Khalif Raymond, Josh Reynolds, Evan Ingram, Isaiah Likely, Michael Mayer. I like the Michael Mayer pick here as well. Bengal, you're up.
Yeah, I really like this draft, except for one part, and I know a lot of people, they know what I'm going to say at this point. If you guys have been tuning in, we've actually been having a really heated conversations over this for quite a few days now. If you draft Devon Achane, you have to pretend like you don't have him on your team just based on what we know from his rookie year, right? He missed 8 games last season. So if he's going to be gone for half the time, I love Brian Robinson Jr. I'm not high on Chase Brown myself because I love Zach Moss so much, and I don't think Zach Charbonnet is actually as good as running back as what he was touted to be in college, because when given the opportunity when Walker was hurt, he did nothing, right? I love Tyler Algier well. To me, I think the running back room probably could be a little bit better, but other than that, dude, you're a stud at quarterback. You're studs at the wide receiver position. You got studs at the tight end position. Overall, as long as Achane stays healthy, this could cash for you, bro. I'm just saying it could cash. I like it.
Yeah, it's a nice lineup for sure. Please, we'll go JC. Sleazeball, just take a moment to take a look at Quasi's lineup. We'll go to you after JC, okay?
Go for it.
I'm in the same boat, man. I feel like this is a rough. I mean, the running back room is going to be. It's going to be tough. Like I said, if Achane goes down, I mean, Brian Robinson is going to be sharing now. I guess everyone kind of says that maybe Eckler could be banged up or whatever, washed, but I don't think so, man. I think that he's still strong enough of a presence to put pressure on Brian Robinson. You know, like Brian Robinson is very talented, but he didn't have something like Eckler to compete with. You know, it's different. And you also have Jaden Daniels, who is also a runner. So I'm a little bit worried there too. Like I don't feel like this is a strong running back room. I do like Lamar. Did he have a stack with Lamar? I didn't. I don't remember.
Likely.
It's a weak stack. The Jared Goff. I think I'm pretty sure that Jared Goff only has 3 outside games this year. So that's a huge upside play with Goff because we know how good he is inside. I like the team. The running back room is it scares me.
Sleazimus Decimus Meridius, welcome back, sir. You're up.
First of all, I never want to draft behind Quasi ever again. We sniped each other probably 5 or 6, 7 times maybe. His team, I'm not against the running back room like you guys are going against it because I believe that Audric Estime is going to be a league winner this year. Zach Charbonnet, I've never liked. Chase Brown could get 50%. Brian Robinson, another timeshare guy, but I'm so high on A-Kane that he could win you a week by himself.
A-Kane?
A-Chain.
A-Chan.
Okay. So he got mad correlation with the Lions. I like that. They get all their home games. That's awesome. Nico Collins, I don't like at value, but you got it 5 later, so I like that. You took Jigba from you 1 pick away. If anything happens to Ayuk, you get Ricky Purcell. That's great. And Evan Ingram has a chance to be tight end 1. So I mean, this team could actually be really good. I'm not against it anyway.
I just want to say, like, when you draft, right, you have 150 alternate universes. It's like, think of like all the alternate Marvel universes. It's like 150 different draft universes. So if you're investing in Devon A-Chain, you're not necessarily investing saying like, oh, I'm anticipating him to be injured. You're anticipating him to be there and to be the guy, especially where you're investing in that. So in this alternate universe, I love what you did at the running back position. There's an avenue, like even though it's not like the safest floor, the ceiling is very high because there's an avenue for at least for the top 3. There's an avenue for those to hit. A lot more needs to happen for Charbonnet, Algier, and Esteem. But I love what you did at the wide receiver position. Very strong. I love the tight end room as well, especially with the late round Michael Mayer pick. There's a reason why you're him, and it's always an honor to draft with you.
I got a question for you guys. If Devon A-Chain, A-Kane, A-Connie, whatever you say it is, A-Chan. Okay.
What you put on your necklace? It's a chain. That's it.
A chain.
I thought it was A-Chan.
So however you say it, if he stays healthy for 17 games, he's going to be the RB1.
Easily. And that's the universe that he's drafting, which is cool.
Right.
Nabars. It's Nabbers. I love hot take.
I can't wait till I hear the first catch by him on Fox or whatever stations it's on, and it says neighbors. I'm going to blow you up.
Latomsky's like,
what is it?
He was pronouncing Malik Neighbors as Malik Nabbers. I know we've addressed that. He's like A-Chain. We love you, Sleaze. We love you. Look at these beautiful teams. Winner chicken dinner. Man, it's honestly, I'm looking at all these lineups and there's really, really sharp lineups, really good work. Like you guys are making me earn my money this year for first place, and I appreciate you guys. Bad Guys Official says I'm loving Esteem too, and product can be not bad for sure.
Estime.
All right,
you just making fun of Sleaze, and you just messed up Estime.
It's Esteem, Estime, Estime.
Esteem. I like that.
You know what's funny? I'm Canadian and I should know that it's Estime. That's on me. I'll admit I'm dummy. But if somebody says Esteem, I'm coming for your throat. Bayou, you still mad at me? You still mad at him? Bayou?
No, I can only be mad at him in spurts.
Esteem, it could be Estime. All right, Bad Guys Official, who really is a good guy. He goes 2, 5, 10, 3. He goes Patrick Mahomes, Jordan Love.
That's solid.
That's solid. He also, there's a caveat. He said he was driving his kid for most of the draft. So
you're driving and drafting with your kid in the car
at every red light, or he got the guys queued up. Like he's obviously doing it the right way. Obviously, we're gonna have a conversation, bad guys. Bijan Robinson, Isaiah Pacheco, Tajay Spears, Marshawn Lloyd, Ray Davis. I like the running backs. Wide receiver goes Chris Olave, DJ Moore, Christian Watson, Xavier Worthy, Curtis Samuel, Malachi Corley, Luke McCaffrey, DJ Chuck, Malik Washington. There's your guy, JC. Juan Jennings, Pat Fryermuth, Luke Musgrave, Ben Snott. Kick it off for me, Bobby Bengal. How do you feel about Bad Guys Draft?
This is probably the best draft I've seen so far as like me wanting to grade things. I think they're pretty obviously. I don't have to say they're solid at quarterback. We all know that. I actually like his running back room quite a bit. I like all 5 of those guys. I think they all could be studs. Ray Davis could be a touchdown machine over there in Buffalo. I'm gonna skip the wide receivers for a second. I like their tight ends. It's okay. Like I said, I'm high on Pat Fryer with myself. I'm not high on Musgrave, and then Benson, it might take him a half a season to get there. The wide receiver room, where a lot of people, and I think probably all of you guys might say that it's you guys like it, but I think there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in this wide receiver position that I have so low in my rankings, and that's to include DJ Moore, Christian Watson, Xavier Worthy, McCaffrey, Chark, and Washington. Very, very low in my rankings. I think Christian Watson can't stay healthy to save his soul. I think DJ Moore loses his number 1 status there with the Bears, and I think that's clearly going to be Keenan Allen. Xavier Worthy, we've just never seen one of these small, speedy wide receivers do anything except for Deshaun Jackson. That's pretty much it. Luke McCaffrey can't separate from nobody. DJ Chark goes on 16 teams a year. It is what it is. It is. I mean, I just think it's a very weak wide receiver room, which I think a lot of people may think it's strong because I know a lot of people like Moore and Christian Watson. I'm just personally not that high on it. So that's just my take.
So sorry, I'm just laughing at the conversation between Latomsky and 2 fat guys. They're like, Esteban!
I like
It's so good.
over hyphenated to make you like enunciate the E. At
Esteban!
Oh,
I like this a lot. All right, great assessment, great breakdown. Sleazeball, you're up, buddy.
Is it after dark yet?
So I'm gonna.
It's not 9 p.m. yet. I have not been unhinged yet.
It's not unhinged.
I'm gonna go with a C+ on this draft. First off, because the top 2 wide receivers, which I don't like any of them, even below the top 2, I have way lower than normal. I don't like Chris Olave at ADP. I don't like DJ Moore at ADP. Christian Watson, I probably have 1% of. And like Bengal said, Xavier Worthy, speedy wide receivers, right? You have Mahomes. You could be Tyreek Hill 2.0, but I think Tyreek Hill is, like I said, once in a lifetime receiver. I don't like the wide receiver room, but I love Pat Fryermuth and Ben Sinnott. Again, with Luke Musgrave, I like Kraft better at value. But it's the running backs are really solid, and the quarterbacks obviously are A+. So I mean, it balances out, but the wide receiver room I feel like is gonna hurt. I like Curtis Samuel's your favorite wide receiver you drafted at value on this team that I like.
facts.
Vinny, we'll get your question right after we break down this lineup. It's a good question, though. Okay, JC, you're up.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing about this team is Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco. I think that's like my favorite thing about the team. If you grab Jordan Love, I'm not grabbing Christian Watson. I am so far off of him. Like, the talent's there. We already know the talent's there, but the injuries, his legs are not there anymore. I think one leg's favored over the other, and at that point, when you're favoring that with injury, it causes injury to the other leg. So I feel like with the amount of talent that's already there in that wide receiver room, I'm sad to say for me, he's a 4 to me on that team. That's just my opinion.
I agree.
Me too.
I like Marshawn Lloyd. I like the talent there at running back, but he also, once again, if people don't know, in college, he had a huge, huge problem with fumbling. So what do we know about fumbling in the NFL? If you fumble the ball, you're sitting on the bench, especially as a rookie. So he has to kind of clean some things up, but the talent there, man, the talent, he's definitely going to probably – I mean, I don't know if it's 100%, but he'll most likely play over Dylan. Dylan's washed. My opinion, once again, the receiver room is very it's going to be tough, man. I mean, I like Olave, but I think I'm going to like Olave better if Derek Carr is not the quarterback.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay. You're being really mean to my guys. I'm
just honest. It's just
you might be honest. I'm looking forward to looking at your lineup because I got that comeback coming from my guys. My guys, shout out to Bad Guys Official. Really is a good guy. Obviously, your quarterbacks are spectacular.
I love the quarterbacks. Yeah,
the quarterbacks are spectacular. Running backs are all right. Tajay Spears, I have zero exposure to, and I'll continue to get zero exposure to because I believe in Tony Pollard no matter what. Marshawn Lloyd, I love the correlation with the quarterback. Obviously, Pacheco with the quarterback as well. Ray Davis, I think in a perfect world, he should be the red zone running back, but the world isn't perfect, right? I mean, we can all tell ourselves a million stories, right? We could tell ourselves a story where like Christian Watson is the wide receiver 4, or we could tell ourselves a story where Christian Watson's healthy and ready to go. If Christian Watson's healthy and ready to go, he's the best wide receiver value at the pick 66, period. Right. And that's a gamble that sometimes I'm willing to make, because in that alternate universe, once again, in that alternate universe, when I'm building that lineup, I'm saying if this guy is healthy, because we don't know, we could be right, we could be wrong. But if this guy's healthy, this guy is an absolute smash at his current value. So you need to draft him because he's one of the best players when he's healthy as a spike week freak on the deep ball. Absolutely. You can't tell me that there's better players out there that do what he does. When he was healthy, we were comparing him to guys like Tyreek Hill. We were comparing him to guys like Deshaun Jackson, those deep ball freaks who just spike and kill fantasy football for you. So in this world, he's got two guys who can absolutely do that. We don't know. Like, everybody thinks DJ Moore is like a dink and dunk guy. This guy, he gets under the ball. There's a lot of air yards for his attempts. Where he produced in his big spike weeks, he was beating people down deep for his receptions. I think DJ Moore has as good a chance as any of those 3 wide receivers. So it's a good exposure piece and a good value as well. Your tight ends, I fucking hate. I hate your tight end. All 3 of them. No, I love Ben Sinnott. But Ben Sinnott's great as a
What do we got to do to get you to come around on Pat Freiermuth?
You got to get Justin Fields to start.
Okay.
He won't touch the field this year.
100% agree.
Because Russell Wilson historically never favors the tight end position. And I know the offensive coordinator loves the tight end position, so we're at a standstill. Is Russell Wilson going to do what he has to do in order to stay on a disgraced coach's graces, or is he going to continue to be a disgraced quarterback himself? It's just disgraceful what's going on in Pittsburgh, as you guys could tell. I freaking hate Pittsburgh.
Russell played in Wisconsin, right? He played for Wisconsin.
Yeah,
that's a run first. They've always been a run first team. You know, like, he doesn't throw it at tight end.
I mean, but like traditionally, you look at what Arthur Smith does, and he loves the tight end. So it's going to be a clash, right? And it's going to be like, you know, is Russell Wilson going to buy in, or is Arthur Smith going to buy into Russell Wilson, or do we see a world where Justin Fields plays?
Yeah, but Russell always had wide receivers. You know, now he's got Roman Wilson as his 2. Pat Freiermuth will be the second option.
I mean, he's had plenty of wide receivers before in the past. I mean, like, he's been successful with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Like, he's been successful with 2 wide receivers.
Will Disley.
He's never been successful with a tight end.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I agree.
So it's like, if Russell Wilson wants to take his game to the next level, yes, he'll invest in throwing to tight end position as well. All right, I said I was going to get to Vinny's question, then we'll get to James's question. Vinny P says, whose price tag do you like? Hollywood, who hasn't had a good season in a while, or a first-round rookie Worthy? Brown seems like a reach, and Worthy keeps falling. So in basketball, I'm going to speak for all of us and say, I mean, we're willing to get exposure to both of them, right? But in redraft, no. Okay, I'm not speaking for all of us. Personally, I would try to get exposure to both of them. Bayou, what's your opinion on this question?
I don't want exposure on any of them. I think that if I had to pick one, I think Hollywood's definitely the better wide receiver to have, but Worthy's the better value. I think right now Brown's going like 5th round or so. I would probably feel better like 7th round, and that's kind of where Worthy's going. And Worthy probably needs to be like 9th or 10th round, you know. So I don't want any one of them, just not based off of talent, just based off of ADP alone. And if I had to have one without ADP, it would clearly be Brown for me. I literally just don't like that small frame of wide receivers. I know he's great in the open field, but in the NFL, they do a lot of press coverage. He didn't have too much press coverage. He saw a lot of zone as far as when I did all my numbers. He played against a lot of zone, and he can juke and jive everywhere. But he's with a press coverage with a physical cornerback. He's not going to get a clean release off the line of scrimmage, and he's going to struggle. So that's just my opinion.
Okay. JC?
Remember when everybody was so hyped about this kid that came out, and his name is Sky Moore, and everybody was so excited about this kid. He's going to be with a great quarterback. He's got a lot of talent. He's fast. Like,
Such a good point.
Same kind of situation, right? We don't really know. That offense is really tailored through him, Mahomes, and Kelsey, right? And then the running game. I think that's like the focal point, and then everybody else kind of gets peppered when Kelsey kind of gets, held up on. So I feel like Hollywood Brown is going to be kind of that more dependable guy that he can go up and throw the ball to. Xavier Worthy. How often do you see Andy Reid really focusing on a rookie wide receiver? He did kind of last year, but I feel like the talent is a little bit different with that receiver, right? Than Worthy. I feel it's a little bit different. Rashid was very talented coming into the NFL, and we all saw that, and he definitely showed out. I just feel like Xavier's it's just a speed guy. Like, he's going to be another speed guy.
Sleazimus Decimus Meridius.
It's going to be Hollywood Brown by a mile. Hollywood Brown was averaging 13 to 15 points a game last year till he got hurt with Clayton Tune and Josh Dobbs. Give this guy Patrick Mahomes. He's the veteran. He's the reliable receiver. And we don't know if anything happens to Rashee Rice or not. I'd take Hollywood all day.
It's the best passing quarterback he's ever been with.
Yeah, all day.
Hands down. And like on paper, obviously, because he's 1,000-yard receiver, on a yearly basis, Hollywood Brown makes the most sense. My only issue with him is the volatility of the injuries, right?
Yeah, he got injured.
So that's why I'm willing to, because they both go around the same point in ADP. If I'm building any sort of correlation with Patrick Mahomes, especially if you're at the front end of the draft, around the bend, you can get a stack with either one of them. So I'm willing to, get 50-50 exposure, because I still think if Rashee Rice plays this year, he's still probably the better wide receiver target to target in that entire room. So great question.
I don't think he's going to miss any time. I honestly, at this point now, it's getting so close to the season. I don't think he's going to miss time this year.
I mean, absolutely, but we never know, right? There might be
Hollywood's missed 5+ games in back-to-back years injuries. So yeah, that's a scare.
Yeah.
James SEO says, why is Samuel being drafted after Shakir? Good question. JC, you go first.
So I think that the situation here is, Curtis Samuel has been looked at more as like the 2 or 3 option on his team almost every single year. The year where he looked really, really good was it Taylor Heineke? Was that quarterback in Carolina, where he had so many air yards that year? I think he was the number 1 in air yards, or missed air yards, or whatever that weird stat is, because it was just like it was Heineke, right? Was it Heineke or
I don't think Heineke ever played for Carolina.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who was that?
I think it was Andy Dalton.
No, who played for Washington last year? Who was running
Sam Howell?
It was 2020. It was 2020. 2020.
There's another quarterback that's just some kind of nobody, just like it's not Heineke.
Googling it.
I'm looking it up.
Teddy Bridgewater.
No, it wasn't.
There was a Caucasian guy for like
another random white guy who would just literally he would just
Sam Darnold.
No.
Will Greer.
No.
2020 quarterbacks for the Panthers is
Bridgewater, Walker, and Greer.
Bridgewater. Yeah.
No, it's not 2020 then.
All right.
But yeah, I just think that I like Curtis. The reason I like Curtis Samuel because of his routes. His route tree is insane. Like, if you look at, is it Matt Harmon? Matt Harmon's his receiver charts that he has.
Perception.
It's insane. It's all green. Every single route that he runs is green. So he's very talented, and there's so much opportunity there. I think it's going to be Kincaid who's going to be the main target, but I think Curtis Samuel's going to be a guy, like, he's dependable. He's going to be a guy who can run routes. Like, he's a great person to do everything.
Fair. Bengal and Sleeves.
It might have been Kyle Allen, but
yes, yeah,
yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I clearly think the number 1 wide receiver is going to be Curtis Samuel. I think now that he's with Joe Brady, we saw what he did with Joe Brady with Carolina. I mean, he was targeted so much. He was used perfectly in all types of schemes. He had so much opportunity. Khalil Shakir, I think why he's drafted. The question was, why do we think he's drafted above? I think it's recency bias. We saw what Khalil Shakir was able to do last season when we wasn't seeing much from Diggs or Gabe Davis because of injuries or whatnot. And we saw Shakir do it. The problem is now, look at what we got. There's a reason why they're like, if they thought Shakir would do it, why would they grab Curtis Samuel free agency? Why would they draft a highly touted wide receiver in Keon Coleman? Like there's reasons of what's happening that I think Khalil Shakir
Well,
will
they
get
lost their receivers too.
Yeah, it's clearly going to be Curtis Samuel, man.
Sleazimus?
Yeah, Coleman though too.
For me, the only reason Khalil Shakir, it's like watching a trend on Sleeper, right? You see a Leonard Fournette update hit, and all of a sudden Leonard Fournette's the top of the trend. Everyone's picking him up. You see a Khalil Shakir thing. Their ADPs are so close right now. One update could obviously separate him from another one. Like, he's having a great camp, right? Then he goes up. To me, it's Curtis Samuel hands down, better than both of them. He's an outscorer, both of them. Last time he was with Brady, he was a top 25 receiver. He had 1,000 yards. And just like JC Money said, this guy runs routes like Greg Dortch. No one can stop him, man. It's crazy.
So I'll answer the question as well. James, the question was, why are people drafting Shakir as a Bills number one or ahead of Curtis Samuel? I will say this to the common folk, to the folks who don't obsess over fantasy football like us and draft in May and some of us even in April. It's due to the fact of Josh Allen having familiarity with a wide receiver, right? That's why people are drafting first and foremost, because there's that camaraderie and familiarity, right? But if we're talking about familiarity, I think Bengal hit it right on the head. The Joe Brady, Curtis Samuel connection is unreal, and that familiarity for the advanced thinkers like the Bengals, like which is a spectacular point, like the James SEOs, like a bunch of the guys here on the panel. That familiarity between those two is more important than the familiarity and spike week potential of Khalil Shakir, 100%. And there's more avenues for him to score. All right, let's get back into the lineups and grading them. Let's try to keep it snappy. All right. This is a long stream, but I'm loving every second of it. Great interaction with the fans. Great interaction with you guys. I just want to get you guys to your shows on time. 3683. This is Brot, aka B Rot. He likes that I call him B Rot. I make his name cool. Jaden Daniels at a great value. Trevor Lawrence at another great value, and Bryce Young just a little bit before ADP, but negligible. Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh, I'm very curious to see what you did at wide receiver. Aaron Jones, Rico Dowdle, Khalil Herbert, Tank Bigsby. Well, some correlation there. Zay Flowers, Christian Kirk, Deontay Johnson, more correlation with both of those players. Keon Coleman, Gabe Davis, more correlation. Xavier Legette, more correlation with Adam Thielen. Bo Melton, tight end Eagles, Mark Andrews, David Njoku, Tyler Lockett. Bengal?
Rod's having moisture start to seep from my pores because I'm actually really liking this a lot. You know, when you go with those juicy running backs at the beginning of the draft, I just start feeding out of my mouth. I love it, man. I don't know. Bryce Young, Cockadoo, get him on out of here. Don't worry about Tank Bigsby, worst running back in the league last year. Wide receivers could probably use a little bit of love, a little tender TLC. But overall, I think by far the best draft, other than mine, in here. Great job. Good job. Great.
Wow. All right. Sleazimus.
I'm going to go overall B. I don't think you needed Bryce Young. I love the correlation with the Jags. I'm not as high on Zay Flowers as other people. I think it's going to be more of a run show in Baltimore, and he didn't even have that great a year last year. He didn't have a great target share besides 5-yard screens. So he's not really a full proven wide receiver to me yet. But what's interesting, I don't like Aaron Jones at all, but I think Dowdle's starting to creep up on me a lot with Zeke talk, and he could be a steal. But I still think Zeke's a guy, but I think he could be a big steal. And I don't think you needed Conklin when you have Andrews and Njoku as well.
Facts.
JC.
I'll say right now, I think my favorite pick in this draft is Bo Melton. A lot of people don't really talk about it. Hey, man, situation comes. Receivers, dude, look at Green Bay. People just don't stay healthy there. That's why they have so many receivers. Like Bo Melton filled in last year. I think he had let me look real quick, but he had a couple massive games just randomly out of nowhere. Like I think that's what happened with Wicks. You know, like Dontavian Wicks just kind of all of a sudden he filled in and boom. boom, 2 touchdowns in a game. Like I think that's the thing is like people just don't, look for these receivers, and all of a sudden they just don't scheme for them and they blow up. Like that's a huge value. I do love the 2. I mean, even Aaron Jones is sweet. I mean, Aaron Jones is probably not going to play 4 or 5 games, but those 3 running backs are so.
Yeah, if I draft Aaron Jones, I'm looking to handcuff Ty Chandler 100%.
You would double stack that at the
every time.
Okay. And I know people say it's not a double stack at the running back position, say handcuff. I think it's more of a 1A, 1B, especially with the amount of time Aaron Jones is going to miss. All right. I'm up. I agree. The role, this is another name I recognize from by Bengals Stream. Thank you for coming over here and supporting my community, because my community is his, and hopefully vice versa. But thank you for coming in here. I can't draft Zay at his current ADP. I 100% agree. 100% agree. I just don't think the avenue is there for him. I love the first 2 running backs. Aaron Jones, I'm not high on. I'm not low on. I'm not drafting him because I like the value at the running back position around him. Rico Dowdle, I see the avenue. Khalil Herbert. I mean, it's good to get exposure. Tank Bigsby is the worst thing to ever happen to the running back position, period. Even worse than Trent Richardson year 2. Okay. Zay Flowers, Christian Kirk, Deontay Johnson, Keon Coleman, Gabe Davis. Even though I hate Zay Flowers, he is a spike week freak, and you got a lot of very similar players. And I think you did a very sneaky thing here, right? Not a lot of people are investing in that passing game for Carolina, especially at the ADP. So the fact that you got 1, 2, 3, you got Leggett, Deontay Johnson, and Adam Thielen, you might as well just gotten Jonathan Mingo on top of that. If this smashes, this lineup is absolutely very unique, especially, making sure that if this offense is a top 5, top 10 passing offense, like some of us think it can be because of the Canales thing, then yeah, that's an incredible smash. It's very unique. It's very awesome. Your tight ends are incredible. I agree with, I believe it was Sleaze who says you definitely didn't need Conklin. But I think throwing in Bryce Young in the mix here, where these guys can stagger top 10 performances, these 3 quarterbacks, I think it's a great draft. The only thing I would have changed up is maybe instead of Tyler Conklin, take a Mingo. Why the hell not? Right? Or Jatavian Sanders. Why the hell not? Right? Great draft. I like it a lot. All right, Jerry Bagshaw. What's up, Jerry? Were you on the lawnmower this time, Jerry? No? Okay. Jerry goes 3-6-9-2 build. He goes Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson. Okay. This right here is what I'm looking at. Can you guys see what I'm circling? The pick versus the ADP definitely reached
early.
We'll see what he did, right? Because at that point in the draft, just go get your guys, right? So we'll see what he did and what kind of value he pushed to get that. So Kyron Williams
took Kyron really early too.
16th. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. This is what his second one. This is the second one, so it's fine. This is where we give advice and give our feedback. But if it hits, it hits, right? Najee Harris, J.K. Dobbins, Will Shipley, Dylan Earlobe, Laube, Puka Nacua, George Pickens, BTJ, Khalil Shakir, Jerry Jeudy, Demario Douglas, Troy Franklin, Zay Jones, Kendrick Bourne, Kyle Pitts, Hunter Henry. So let's not do a grade. Let's give advice. Actually, give a grade. Yeah, screw it. Give a grade. Give advice.
Who's leading it off?
It's Bengals starting everyone.
Yeah, this reminds me of pineapple pizza, and let me explain. You really don't know if you like it or not. You like the pizza. Something's a little strange. What's going on, right? You give it a couple little sniffs, and you realize it's the sweetness. There's 3 running backs here that I like. The rest of it, I don't. There's 3 wide receivers that I like. The rest of it, I don't. I saw the reaching that we happened on Russell Wilson. Not necessarily, I don't think we need Russell Wilson. Kyler Murray and Kirk Cousins, I think it'll be fine. I know why you do, because there's injury concerns with Kirk Cousins. I get it. J.K. Dobbins, Will Shipley, and Dylan Laube. Dylan Laube, I guess, is okay, but, it is what it is. But then you go to your wide receivers, Khalil Shakir, I'm so low on that guy. Jerry Jeudy, you don't know what he gives. I know Demario Douglas is Mr. Winner over there, but, it is what it is. I do like Troy Franklin, but, and I like your tight end position. But I look at this team, and I'm so strange because I'm like, how – because normally you get stacked somewhere, right? You're either stacked at wide receiver, you're stacked at running back, you're stacked at quarterback, you're stacked at tight end. I don't see any stacks here. So odd to me.
He's got Pickens.
so odd. I mean, yeah, but I like 3 wide receivers, and that's it. So to me, I don't even C plus. I don't know. It's like it's pineapple pizza to me. I don't know. I like the pizza, not the pineapple.
So personally, I think like this is good for redraft because you got your top 3 guys at every position. You got your top 2 guys at the tight end position. Very safe at the tight end position. There is some correlation there, but and I'm sorry to jump the gun here, Sleaze and JC. My biggest piece of advice is just let the value come to you at every single pick, right? Because when you reach on a player just because you like that player, you are giving other people opportunities who have that player in their lineup, because you're not just competing against the people here. You're competing against 184,000 other people, right? That's how the big tournament works. So my biggest piece of advice, because I generally like what you did here. I really do like what you did here. My only big piece of advice, because you're clearly a very sharp drafter and you know who you like and you went and got them. I respect the hell out of that, right? And I like the players on this team. Like, I want to hate it, but I don't. I really don't hate it. My biggest piece of advice moving forward, because I do like what you did here. It's like, at first I was afraid. Shit, I was even petrified. No, I like what you did here a lot. I just would let the values come to you. You fellas go. Sleazeball.
Just like you said, when I'm looking at this team, it looks like when I was first drafting. I like to now build avenues, multiple ways to find a stack to my roster. Like, if I'm looking at this team, I see all these Patriots, and then I see Russell Wilson drafted where you could have taken Drake May to stack those up. I get that you get it with Pickens. Kirk Cousins, you go 16 early, he falls even past 145. So you could have probably got him at 150, 160 around there. He falls a lot in this. Just like you said, you do have the pieces like the 3-3-3. I even like DeMario Douglas way more than Bengals going with. But Jerry Jeudy, we don't know. Khalil Shakir, again, he's the 3 for me. That's too high. I'd go C plus, C plus.
JC.
So I think like the whole Russell Wilson thing, I think you just even stay away from Russell. I mean, if everyone's kind of worried about Kirk, you let him fall a little bit with Kirk, but why not just go get with the upside with Penix, right? I mean, just if you're just gonna have it. I mean, if you're really worried about Kirk, he's gonna be, if he doesn't get hurt, I mean, he's gonna fill in. He's the guy, right behind him. So
the backup, right?
Last round, that doesn't even affect you in any way. So I mean, if you want worried about that, but I like the running or the tight end room a lot. He did get a stack with Kirk Cousins and Pitts, so I think that's kind of something he was kind of going for. I mean, there was some reaches, but I do like the wide receiver room. It's nice and stout. The running back room is really what I'm kind of worried about. I mean, Najee Harris, kind of a guy everyone's kind of questioning. Travis Etienne, who kind of knows? I mean, is it going to be Trevor Lawrence dumping the ball off to Travis Etienne, or are they going to start airing it out now again? With them bringing in a rookie receiver, are they going to try to do something more in the air? Especially with have them with how well Ingram was. I don't know. I'm probably in the same kind of boat here. C plus.
Okay. Jerry, I definitely don't grade it as C. I think it's very unique for this, but I would just say, like,
the value.
Be careful about reaching for certain players, especially that far. Let the value fall to you. All right, Hot Take City. Then we'll get into our lineups, and I want you guys to be very critical of each other. I want you guys to bully each other. Okay, be mean. Just don't curse at each other. I'm kidding. Don't be mean. Be nice. So Hot Take City goes 2-6-9-3. He goes Anthony Richardson, Matthew Stafford. Running back, he goes Rachaad White, Ramondre Stevenson, DeAndre Swift, Gus Bus, Tyrone Tracy, Keaton Mitchell. Wide receiver goes Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Maserati Marv, Michael Pittman, Jacoby Myers, Brandon Cooks, Darnell Mooney, Demarcus Robinson, Roman Wilson, A.T. Perry, Trey McBride, Jelani Woods, and Theo Johnson. Bengal.
Clearly this is easily the best draft I've seen. I literally have 0 holes in this team, and you guys know me by now. There's always something I try to poke at. I see literally no holes with this entire team, especially you get A.T. Perry and Man Meat alone. It's going to already raise the value. He's solid at tight end. You know what I mean? Oh man, look, I got some Man Meat for this guy. This dude is going to.
I'm sorry, you said it. I had to play it. You said it. I had to play it. Forgive me. I don't have the memory. I'm sorry. That was rude.
No. I'm just saying. AR is my number 2 quarterback. You guys are going to see my rankings videos come out very, very soon. Where AR is my second ranked quarterback. Right? There's literally nothing you could say. I don't give many of these out, but I'm gonna say A+ with this dude. Literally, there's no holes I can pick at. I'm really curious to see what you guys think. I don't see any holes.
I do. Running back for me, it's an A- for me. Rashad White. I mean, I really don't know with this team, man. I don't know with Tampa Bay. I think they're just going to go back to air raid again this year. Ramondre Stevenson, he did get paid. They did bring in Gibson, which isn't going to be a huge disruption to him. You know, we know Gibson is actually a wide receiver turned running back, so he might get some dump offs, especially with a rookie quarterback and or Brissett. DeAndre Swift, once again, kind of wishy-washy, not really sure what's going to be in Chicago, that whole team there. Gus Edwards, who knows? Tyron Tracy. I mean, I feel like the running back is kind of the question here. Everything else to me is very strong.
He just needs 2 running backs, JC. He needs 2 running backs on a weekly basis. With his first 4 running backs here, I think he easily has 2 running backs.
Yeah, he's fine at running back.
I think he's A-okay. But you're entitled to your opinion. Totally. Maybe personal preference.
A- is great. A- to me, man. That's fucking solid.
Yeah. Maybe it's personal bias because you don't like the names. But I think these guys. He just needs 2 on a weekly basis. I think he smashed that.
Solid.
Sleazeball, you're up, buddy.
First of all, since it's my guy hot take, it's an instant F. No, I'm just kidding. So the one thing I would say, I love all the depth around. The one thing I would say is if you're going to reach for Trey McBride about 8-10 spots, right, and you have Marvin Harrison Jr., why are we going for Anthony Richardson in the 5th when you could have got Kyler in the 7th or 8th?
I agree with that.
Fall, right? So he falls 3 rounds later. You could have depth out another piece here to help you, and I would have rather had the triple stack. But besides that, the roster is very balanced.
He says he don't like me. No, everybody likes you. Hot take. Shut your mouth.
That's really hot take.
I'll say this, right? The reason why you get Anthony Richardson and not a Kyler Murray is because you believe Anthony Richardson has the potential to finish as QB1 or top 3 quarterback, and you got him at a value, and you got him with his best wide receiver.
He is my QB1, so I like it, but
yeah, the reason why you take a naked Trey McBride instead of stacking Trey McBride, because either Trey McBride or Maserati Marv can both absolutely smash, and Kyler Murray can still have a bad day.
Yep.
Right? Kyler Murray can still have a bad day, even if they both smash. So the fact that
if they're both smashing, Kyler's not having a bad day.
He went with a little micro stack here. Actually, no, he went with 3 levels of stackage here. I like this. I see no holes in it as well. I agree with Bengal. This is an A. The wide receiver room is spectacular. The wide receiver room is absolutely spectacular. The running back room, I see an avenue where at least 2 guys on a weekly basis can smash. And I think all of these guys could potentially smash. I think your flex position is covered by one of your tight ends or your incredible receiving room. I love it. There's nothing I hate about it. What happened?
Nothing.
He said A.T. Perry.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm not even looking at it. All right. So Bengals said, okay, so we're going to start with Bengals lineup, guys. Bengals going to be quiet. We're going to rip them apart, okay? Bengals said that he liked who was it? Brot's. He liked Brot's lineup a lot, but second to his. So we're going to see how good Bengal drafted here. This is his 94th draft. Bengal goes with a 2-5-10-3 build. He goes Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy. I like Brock Purdy. Running back, he goes Derrick Henry, shocker. Zamir, Zeus. I like the pick. Zach Moss, shocker. Austin Eckler, Braylon Allen. He's sprinkling guys that he always gets, and he's mixing in guys that he has not a lot of exposure to. I like it. CeeDee Lamb, Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Jaden Reed, DeAndre Hopkins at a pretty nice value. Mike Williams, he gets a lot of Mike Williams. Jalen McMillan, Javon Baker, Odell Beckham Jr., Elijah Moore, tight end. He goes Cole Kmet, Taysom Hill, Chigozie Okonkwo. Sleaze, then JC, then me.
That is Bengals' best draft I've seen him do since we've been on here. 100%. I like the double stack right here. CeeDee Lamb, Deebo. I love that. I love Henry. Even though you reach for him, I don't care. I'm willing to take Henry in the top 20. Zeus is my guy. I love Zeus a lot. Zach Moss, I'm on board with as well. Austin Eckler's, I got to see how that one plays out, but that could be good value. And the top 5 wide receivers, all buys are split. I love that. Mike Williams, I never touch. I love McMillan and Baker, and OBJ is, a dart throw home run hitter. Elijah Moore is not even in the starting lineup right now, so that's tough. But Cole Kmet, you get the jack of all trades, Taysom Hill, and you always draft Chig. I don't understand. I don't like Chig at all, but you always draft him. I mean, it could be something there, but I don't know. But that's one of his best, well balanced drafts I've seen from Bengal for sure.
JC.
A-.
You already know that. I mean, I'm off of Zamir all right. But Derrick Henry, I like that a lot. Zach Moss, I'm good on Zach Moss. I mean, if he can hold the job, he was somebody that last year he saved my ass in Scott Fishbowl with me drafting him last, and then me having Nick Chubb decide to explode his leg. So that kind of helped me out. So I do the recency bias. I really am high on Zach Moss. Austin Eckler, the value, man. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If he hits, it's crazy. I love the receivers here. I think the receivers are very strong. Tight ends, I do like Taysom, but I guess it's great in best ball, but it's the age. Has he dwindled? Has he dwindled? Is this the year where he's just like gone?
Yeah, he's old as dirt.
And
Cole 34.
Cole Kmet kind of like the reason he was so great is like Fields really dependent on him. He's shorter quarterback who like runs with the ball and he's looking for somebody, and it was just like Cole Kmet was just always there.
Did you see the value I got on Taysom too though? Like that was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think people
20 or later, yeah.
It's good. It's good value. It's a solid team. It's a solid team. A- is where I'm at.
I think. Okay, so quarterback, spectacular, great values too. Running back, phenomenal across the board. Love every running back there. Wide receivers, insane, right? Especially that you got CeeDee Lamb at the 104. That's absolutely incredible. My only thing is, and I see you get this kind of like late tight end build. If Cole Kmet's your first tight end, the only thing I would change is like I don't think you need an Elijah Moore here, right? Obviously, he has potential. But maybe get a 4th tight end because I don't think any of these guys have a safe enough floor. So you need to really depend on staggering.
One hitting weekly, yeah.
Yeah, staggering, potential top 10 performances because the ceiling and the floor at all other positions are spectacular. The only thing that I could see holding this team back, and yeah, the 3 names, the values, all of them, great, right? But do you see them, one of these 3 guys being in the top 10, top 5 tight end room on a week-to-week basis? I personally don't. But there's also an avenue for them to hit. I think I would have gotten a 4th tight end. That's
Tucker Kraft was it. I misclicked because I was in the middle of talking. We had a question or something, and I clicked the wrong name. I was supposed to click my guy who I told you guys I like to draft, Kraft, but I misclicked and hit more. So
at least we're on the same point. All right, JC, you have been shitting on you've shat on bad guys lineup. No, I'm kidding.
Everyone gets a B-. That's
rip mine first because I got like 3 minutes here.
Yeah, give Sleaze first.
Yeah. All right, Sleaze goes Tua Tagovailoa, 3593, Tua Tagovailoa, Baker Mayfield, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Mixon, Raheem Mostert, Tony Pollard, Zeke, Chubb. Wide receiver goes Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Mike Evans, Tank Dell, Josh Palmer, Greg Dortch, Rondell Moore, Trey Tucker, John Mechie, Dalton Kincaid, Jake Ferguson, and Jonnu Smith. Bingo.
I want to rip this so bad, but I actually like this a lot, Sleaze. I like that you got the 3 quarterbacks because you don't have any like of those premier guys, right? So I like that you got 3 and you got some correlation with it. I like the Baker and the Mike Evans right there. Aaron Rodgers, did you get anything with Aaron? You didn't. Did you get anything with Tua? You didn't. So you just grabbed your wait. Yeah, you got Jonnu Smith. Oh, and Raheem Mostert too. So yeah. I mean, I like what you did at the running back or at the quarterback position because who knows what happens. All 3 guys can put up a high score at any given point. Mixon, Mostert, Pollard, and I like those 3. Ezekiel Elliott, he could be the goal line guy, and we don't know what's happening with Nick Chubb. So I think you have a safe enough floor with your running back position. Obviously not like studs or anything out there, except for Raheem Mostert. He could be a stud, but I think overall it's a nice floor for you. I really like your wide receivers, especially Greg Dortch. A lot of people don't know about Greg Dortch, but I think he can be really, really good. You had some kind of let me wipe this off the screen. Some type of stain. Oh, that's Trey Tucker. I'm sorry. And then and then they had the tight end position there. Dalton Kincaid, Ferguson, Smith, dude, great job. I mean, I like what you did. I really wish I could tear it apart, but overall, I think it's pretty good.
JC,
I'm gonna say this team is great, man. This team is really, really great. The only thing I'm worried about is running back room because of injuries. You know, Nick Chubb's been hurt. Zeke Elliott, I mean, is it that is he going to be hurt, or is it just going to be, you know, the whole Cabo contract, you know, just has destroyed him? Tony Pollard, you know, I like Tajay Spears, man. That's just me. That's just me. I liked him at Tulane. Tony Pollard very, very small. I mean, I feel like he's going to get a lot of. Is he going to get a lot of passes? Is he going to get a little dump offs, and he can do the thing that he did when is Tajay Spears strong enough like to give Pollard that situation to where he's doing what he did when Zeke was like there. You know, that's why Pollard blew up. He had that strong running back to, you know, when he came in, like everybody was like, and then Pollard would just roll out, you know, get a nice pass and be gone. Like that's Raheem Mostert again, injury guy. Joe Mixon, I like that. I love Joe Mixon this year, but I think your only weakness is only because of hypothetical injury. That's it. That's where I'm at.
All right, Sleaze, I fucking hate it, and I fucking hate you. Get the fuck out of here and go to your stream. Guys, we're going to be rating Sleaze and TSA after this. Hey, great draft. Thanks for coming on the show, brother. Have a great show, all right?
Great stream, guys. I can't wait for next week, man. That was awesome.
Peace, brother.
All right. Now rip me a new one, please.
All right.
I'm just here for fun. So you guys, you know, I want you guys to win. That's why I just don't draft me.
So JC goes 2693, Justin Herbert,
good quarterbacks,
Justin Fields, Saquon, David Montgomery, Devin Singletary, Jaleel McLaughlin, Elijah Mitchell, Roshan Johnson, wide receiver Jamar Chase, Brandon Ayuk, Chris Godwin, Hollywood Brown, Ladd McConkey, Tyler Lockett, Jahan Dotson, Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalen Tolbert, tight end Dalton Schultz, Colby Parkinson, and then your guy Zach Ertz.
B minus at max.
Yeah, this is one of those teams that you would say it has a face for radio, right? So let's start at the bottom and work our way up. Right? No, so tight end position. I'm high on his tight end position. I really like Dalton Schultz. I know Disco's probably not as high as I am. And then we were just talking about that Zach Ertz value. I think that's great, especially early on. And then once midseason goes, even if he falls off, you still got a nice and Colby Parkinson should be the number one guy there for the Rams. And then his wide receiver position from top to bottom. I like every single wide receiver, and it's rare to say that, I guess, on some teams. But even down to Jalen Tolbert, who is the third wide receiver for Dallas, and obviously could start taking over some reps from Brandon Cooks, who's starting to get up there in the age. And I like every other one of his guys, even at his running back position. Well, I mean, obviously, I love his top three. Jaleel McLaughlin could be great, right? Elijah Mitchell, more of, hey, if something does happen to McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, his value goes through the roof. Roshan Johnson really needs Khalil Herbert for something to happen. And the only thing I would say right here, the big sore spot is that quarterback, and I have no idea why he didn't get Burrow or Purdy. I have no clue.
They got drafted right before me every time. Every time right before my spot, they got drafted. I was like, I got to pivot again.
Who would take Purdy, though? Who would take – I don't know. That was me. That was me. My bad.
Every time I was like, that's why I shook my head when you did it. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, but Justin Herbert, I think, is a good feeling because you tagged him up with McConkey. I think that was great.
That's it.
For me, and I know my opinion is different than a lot of people, I do not see Justin Fields getting on the field at all. I think Russell Wilson's good enough to take this job and not relinquish it to Justin Fields. And I think after this, Fields goes on his own way, and Russell Wilson is the quarterback of the future, or at least the near future, for the Steelers. So for me, even if you take Justin Fields and if you believe he's going to play, I think the strongest play would be to take a third quarterback, in my opinion. But overall, I actually really like this team. Even with Justin Herbert, I think you'll be hurting on week 5 because by week 5, Justin Fields will not be the quarterback. I just think they're going to give Russell Wilson more than 5 weeks. You know what I mean? So other than that, I think I really like your team. I'm only going to give it probably a B- because you're going to lose quarterback points at week 5.
So I'm shooting for B minuses, baby.
I got you.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, my quarterback situation was rough.
Yeah.
Every time I was like, damn it, dude, again.
I saw your face. I saw your face.
Twice. I was like, there goes Burrow. there goes Purdy. I was like, okay, who do I depend on now? Who else can I stack with? I guess
Yep.
I'll settle for Herbert.
Mm,
Yep.
Disco.
Yeah, I'm just looking at how the draft played out, right?
Okay.
So Joe Burrow, you got sniped from, right?
Yeah.
Brock Purdy, you got sniped.
Yeah.
At that point, you need to look at yourself and you need to say, okay, I got sniped on 2 quarterbacks on the way back. Purdy got you, so you took Schultz. I think you could have taken Herbert here and maybe a Goff and Tua and just raised your team's floor in general at the quarterback position.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you definitely could, like, if you're going this late at tight end, you might as well have pushed it just a little bit more, right?
Even
Because
Geno would block it,
Yeah. Well,
Later.
yeah. I mean, that was an option later as well, right? But once again, he got sniped and he wasn't going to reach. So he was waiting for the values to come to him.
Every time.
But at that point, right, when you hit Justin Herbert, and this is for everybody, when you hit like Justin Herbert to a Goff range and you don't have a quarterback, just go back to back, even if you don't have stacks or correlation. I think they raise your floor. I think Justin Herbert's going to be fine this year. I really do think he's going to be okay. But Justin Fields, I mean, if Madden's right, he's going to get you a lot of kick return points. that's about it. But it was Snipe City. All right.
It
My
was
turn.
City, dude. It was just like
100%. But like that's how I would personally pivot. And trust me, I've been doing this for a really long time with this community. I have been getting sniped every single night, Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So they made me better. So I go with a 3-6-9-2 build here. I like this draft a lot. We went with our bully tight end approach at the end of the back end of the draft. We go CJ Stroud, Caleb Williams, Will Levi. Running back, we go James Cook, Jalen Warren, Jerome Ford, Jalen Wright, Miles Sanders, Justice Hill. Those guys are becoming staples in the last couple of rounds for me. Wide receiver, A.J. Brown, Drake London, Calvin Ridley, Dontavian Wicks, Josh Downs, Quentin Johnston, Marvin Mims, Tyler Boyd, Jalen Brooks, tight end, Travis Kelce, and I'm a Laporta supporter. Bangle?
nice.
Overall, I really actually like this team. And the one thing that I'm actually going to say, and I know your rebuttal to it is going to be, is that I would not have taken Caleb Williams. And I know you're going to say, well, I got him 21 picks past value, but it's a unstacked Caleb Williams, right? That I don't think that you needed. I mean, you passed on Demario Douglas, your man that was taken right after you for Caleb Williams, where CJ Stroud and Will Levis, I think, is plenty enough good for the whole season. I mean, that's just me. I'm not very high on Caleb Williams. I know you've taken him like in your Scott Fish and stuff like that. But that's what I would say about that. I like your running backs. At least the top 4 is really good. I know Miles Sanders and Justice Hills are kind of like your dart throws. You never know. It could happen. Miles Sanders could even be traded, and go somewhere else. And possibly go over to the Raiders and take over that number 1 job. But we'll let that go. So we got the wide receivers, right? I like your wide receivers all the way down to Marvin Mims, Tyler Boyd, and then you got your dart throw at Brooks, and your tight ends are like just okay, they're serviceable. So I think overall, dude, I like your team. If it was up to me, honest opinion, just being truthful, I think you could have done better, something better with the Caleb Williams pick. And to me, it would have either been Demario Douglas or like a Marshawn Lloyd for running backs over him. But I know why you took him, because that's a massive ADP hit that Caleb Williams, and he fell into your lap for free. So, but that's what I would say. And if I had to give yourself a grade, I'd probably say B+ for sure, because I can't put you underneath B- that he didn't take Burrow or Purdy. Still blows my mind. But anyway,
JC?
I really like your team, man. This team. So I don't think people really understand how hard it is to build a team if you go tight end early, bully tight end. Like if you go back to back tight end, it's really not easy to navigate and find value for certain players, especially at receiver. So I feel that you navigated very well for that style of your draft. So for that alone, I'm gonna have to give you an A-. I feel this team this is a great team for going with that strategy. It's not easy to navigate that.
one of the best bully tight end drafters is Disco by far, and I'm not saying that just because this is his stream.
It's not easy. you really have to find value. Like you're going, was that second, third round or third, fourth round where you're going
Yeah,
tight end?
third, fourth. Yeah,
that's a lot to pass on right there. But the upside is insane mass. So I like it a lot.
Thank you, Sir Football. If you guys are just tuning in to enter our giveaway, we got the duck race set up. So I'll still take a couple names. Hashtag community to enter the duck race. And the bias is crazy. What, you don't like a hot take? Hot take, you don't. Please, just give me one good reason why you don't like my team and my lineup. CJ Stroud's a guy who I've been, like, I wouldn't say out on, but a guy who I absolutely don't love at ADP. But if he falls to me and I get a naked Stroud, pause. I'm drafting. I'm hopping all over that shit. I'm drafting him, right? Caleb Williams, not a guy I'm super high on, not a guy I'm super out on. I love when the value dips, and I love when the value falls. You can't necessarily build correlation pieces in drafts when you go Travis Kelce and Sam Laporta in the first 3-4 rounds. So just taking best available, making sure that I'm safe and good and have good pieces that could perform at a top 10, top 5 level. Everywhere at every position is very important to me, and I think my flex spot is going to be good, with either a tight end or a running back or a wide receiver. So it's solid work for me, and this is why I'm me, and I'm the best to ever do it. Like, I just wake up in the morning and piss excellence. It's just nuts. Thank you guys for the great. Thank you guys for hopping on the show. I really do appreciate it.
Facts.
Sir Evening. Says James SEO, no correlation, but the talent is impossible to argue. Exactly. Like, once again, like, sometimes you just need to say, I don't care about correlation. I'm just going to try something unique and get, best available. And that's what we did here, right? And we're going to stop share screen. We're going to present share screen. If you guys have not entered the giveaway, hashtag community, it's already set up, 69 seconds. You already know the deal. You know how we roll. Get to quacking, and we'll get to drafting, and we'll head over to Sleazeball and to JC's stream. JC, you're about to get going. I still can't forget out if I'm Team Najee or Team Jalen Warren. Might have to decide soon for Scott Fishbowl. I just took Warren. PPR format, I'm taking Warren all day, every day.
Yeah.
There we go. Get the quacks. Bear Fan Pete's just entered. Edit list. All right. Everybody's in here. Who Hames is here.
By the way, if you want to buy premium, it's literally only $12 for the year.
That's USD. That's USD, sir.
Oh,
All right, get to quacking. Mossy, I got you in here. All right, on your marks. Get set. Let's go. Got to add the new entries. I already did. Oh, Broadster. Okay. Well,
how is I don't understand how our currency is any better than yours, like, because of how much US, like, I would say when I went over to Japan, like the yen rate to US dollar was insane. It was like 126 yen to the US dollar. You're like, holy shit, dude, I'm fucking converting everything to yen. Like, I'm gonna get so much money. And then when I left, dude, it was like 74 yen to the US dollar. It was just like the value of the dollar went down so much. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how it's not even lower now. They just keep printing money. They're like, fuck it, just keep printing it. It's like, I don't know how it's worth anything.
I brought you already in, buddy.
I like the all caps. That goes hard.
Yeah, I got you, Vape. All right, everybody's good. All right. No 18-man set. Get to quacking, guys. Let's go. On your marks. Get set.
Quack.
Quack.
So remember, in the duck race, you don't want to get out to a super hot start, but about 23, 22 seconds, everyone will kind of like fall back, and then you never know. Sometimes some people will hold on, but you'll get a nice little surge at the end, and someone will get the gas. Somebody hit the nos. Somebody had to be too early. I don't know if anybody ever seen Fast and Furious, but it's like too soon, Junior. Get the too soon.
Two Fat Guy says, breaking news, my duck is racing with a stress fracture in his foot. Hurt. Take your proper doc. also heard. Guys, if you guys are just tuning in, we are so close to 40 likes. We are 4 likes away. If you guys could smash that like button for me, if you haven't, please do so. And if you guys are watching after the fact, please do so. Be Kurt.
Be Kurt.
Who's Spike Week? Who's this? Okay, Chris.
Oh, it's a tight race. Oh,
Quasi the 2-time. Look at Quasi.
Dang.
Quasi had the rumbles, the stomach rumbles. He had some gas, and he kicked ass. Let's go. All right, folks. JC, your stream is about to start, so I'm not going to say much. You guys have a safe, wonderful weekend. You guys can find Bayou Bengal on his name right there, Bayou Bengal FN. JC Money Design is at the sports affiliation, both on YouTube. Please go subscribe to my guys. These ducks are fucking loud. Please subscribe to my guys. Thank you guys for making tonight's show so super spectacular. Do you guys want to say anything before you go? JC, you go first because you got to dip out in a bit.
Just come hang out. If you want to come hang out, we're going to talk about some movies, have some fun, have some giggles, So come draft with us if you want to. Otherwise, go draft with Sleaze. Whatever. Let's have some fun.
Buddy. Yep. Yeah. The only thing I would say is, The only thing I would say is I'm enjoying building this community that we are all doing right now. It is absolutely infectious. That not only in my streams and disco streams and sports affiliation streams and sleaze streams, no matter where you go, everyone seems to almost know everyone, and the quality of friendships that we are building are almost for a lifetime, right? So I just want to say on behalf of everybody that we appreciate everybody coming into these streams, being engaging, and just being there for everybody else. All the stuff that we see in chat with you guys going back and forth, it's hilarious. I love it. We're building something that's going to last a lifetime. And Disco, thank you so much for allowing me to hang out on your stream and have some fun, man.
Thank you for coming here, and that's the epitome of Friendship Friday, right? So this is what we do. This is what we're going to continue to do, and you hit it on the head. You know what I mean? I love this community. I love welcoming people from your community and everybody else's community to our streams. But enough of us, guys. Bengal, you've been streaming for like 16 hours today. Go get some rest. Guys, go support the sports affiliation. Go support the sports. I'd like Bengal even more if it wasn't for those Burrowhead comments. Oh, geez, Vinny.
Burrowhead? I don't get it.
What you talking about, Vinny?
I have no idea.
Anyways, we'll see you guys over in Sleazeballs and the sports affiliation streams. Until next time, which is Monday, y'all have a good weekend. Peace.